The Beet Diggers will receive the opening kickoff, which is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. That's Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Ken Denver, coached by Scott Yates. The Beet Diggers head coach is Randy Dreitz, that is, assisted by Ron Albo, Lance Schwint, Dick Creighton, Matt Manier, and David Cummings. The Beet Diggers are dressed in their home maroons with the white numerals, and Ken Denver in the white jerseys with the navy blue pants and the navy blue numerals and the red helmets. And let's see what the Beet Diggers special teams can do, which has been pretty decent this year with kickoff returns. Kickoff coverage is a different story, Dave. That's been up and down. And, of course, hopefully the Beet Diggers won't have to worry too much about kickoff coverage in this particular game. First things first, as Kyle Rosenbrock is back deep to receive in this 2A state quarterfinal. This is the 6th meeting between these teams in the playoffs. The Beet Diggers have won 3 and lost 2. Lost in the state championship game in 91, 20-16. Won in 97-6. Won the state quarters 20-0 in 1994. Lost in the quarters in 05, 25-13. And then, of course, did win 29-25 2 years ago. Looks like Jake Rader to kick it off for Ken Denver. And this game is underway. This one is high and fairly deep, fielded by Rosenbrock at the 5, straight ahead to the 10, running to his left to the 15, across the 20, is seen to the outside of the 25. Rosenbrock towards the outside, across the 40-yard line, and a big return of close to 37 yards for Kyle Rosenbrock, as the Beet Diggers have outstanding field position at about the 42.5-yard line.
Ken Denver had the wind at their back. You look over at the flag, and you know it's blowing. It's not whipping real hard, but it's blowing down there. That ball, if Rosenbrock hadn't caught it, it would have landed on about the 5-yard line. So, you know, we can say something about their kicking game right now.
1st and 10 for the Beet Diggers at their own 43-yard line. Mitch Tormoen is the quarterback, waiting for a late substitution. Jake Morrow running onto the field. Last week, the starting backs were Rosenbrock and Brett Bostrom. And the Beet Diggers have to race up to the line of scrimmage as Morrow is in that backfield with Rosenbrock. 1st and 10. The Beet Diggers have the ball at their own 43. Randy Baker's in motion to the left. Handoff Rosenbrock left side, and he's got a yard. Tackled to the 44 by Brannon Jones, the 6'2", 225-pound senior linebacker. Dave, he could be their best defensive player.
Yeah, he's a big kid playing that middle linebacker position. He was standing behind 4 good-sized defensive linemen. But, you know, when you look at their roster, you only see a couple of guys. They have one guy, number 79, is 278 pounds. Outside of that, everybody's right there around 205, 220. So, you know, they don't really have us outsized that much.
2nd down and 9 for the 44-yard line. The backs are split. One receiver to the right. Tormolen's going to roll that way, looking to throw, setting up. Here comes pressure. Tormolen tries to spin out of it. He'll take off across the 45, dives to the 46-yard line. He avoided the sack before he was hit on the far side. Looked like Chance Tanner, the 6'1", 220-pound senior linebacker, was in on the play. A gain of 2 for Tormolen. 3rd down and a long 7 to go for the 46-yard line of the opening drive of the game as Bostrom checks out and Jake Morrow checks into the game.
Now, Ken Denver lined up in a 4-3 defense, and as we shifted our halfback over to the right side, which was Rosenbrock, they moved their linebacker. So they got a little spy going on with Brennan Jones.
3rd and 7 for the 46. Baker's in motion to the left. And Tormolen on the bootleg left. Not much running room. He tries to break out of a tackle and does, and then he's taken down by Brannon Jones at the 48-yard line. Picks up 2 yards in the play. It'll be 4th down and 5. If you're the Beet Diggers, Randy Dreitz loves to gamble, but I don't know if you can do that in this particular situation early on in the game.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty tough call to make, and I see he's rotating 3 guys onto the field, so the punt team's out there ready to go. Ball at midfield.
For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. Back deep to receive is Matt Pettijohn for Ken Denver. But the Beet Diggers are lining up like they're going for it on 4th and 5 from their own 48-yard line. Now they'll retreat in punt formation. Kyle Rosenbrock standing at his own 33-yard line. Corey Acosta, the deep snapper, a perfect snap. And Rosenbrock gets it off. A fluttering end-over-end punt towards the sideline. It bounces inside the 30 and out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. And that's where Ken Denver will have the football with 9:39 to go in the opening quarter of this 2A state quarterfinal.
Now the flag's starting to hang down a little bit, so that was a good kick but not really against much of a wind.
1st and 10 for the Sun Devils at their own 24, 10-0 going in. Bee Diggers at 8-2. Brush is the 9 seed. Ken Denver is the top seed in the 2A playoffs, but the top seed, since they started seeding in 07, has only won it once. That was Faith Christian in 09. 1st and 10. The quarterback is Joey Matarazzo. There's the handoff to the up-back. Brandon Jones, the fullback, across the 25 towards the 27. Chase Klein makes the tackle. It's a gain of 3 for Brandon Jones.
Now they just ran that trap straight ahead on the left side. The Diggers didn't fall for it. He went right down. But I'll tell you what, he's a big kid. Looks like he's got some pretty good power we saw there on defense. The Diggers aren't going to be able to lose focus of where he's at.
Maverick Seawald and Oscar Soto in the middle of that defense. 2nd and 7, backs it an eye. Ken Denver with the ball at their own 27. Matarazzo under center. Will hand it off to Jaden Franklin, cutting it back towards the middle at the 30. He's got a seam to the outside and speed to burn at the 50-yard line. And Franklin down the sideline to the 20, down to the 15, and he's knocked out of bounds. Or did he get into the end zone? And he did. They tried to knock him out of bounds, but he is gone. 73 yards up the right sideline for the sophomore Jaden Franklin in his first carry of the game. And Ken Denver leads 6-0.
Just had a lot of over pursuit on defense. Had one guy over here on this side, and the play was designed to run left, but he showed that he can see the whole field. He ran up there. He saw the open space on the right side. He just cut it back and had speed to burn.
Yeah, he is fast, but I thought the Bee Diggers had the angle on him at about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, we just didn't have very good effort there pushing him out of bounds. It was kind of a laid-back effort, and I think we kind of expected him to just go out of bounds for us, and he didn't.
Jack Rader to attempt the extra point. There's the snap. It's down. The kick is up, and that one is good. 8:51 to go opening quarter in the 2A state quarterfinals. Ken Denver 7, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 2 plays, 76 yards in 48 seconds. Jaden Franklin, a 73-yard dash up the right sideline. The extra point by Jack Rader was good at 7-0 Ken Denver, and Rader to kick it off. Let's see if Rosenbrock is going to have to field this towards the sideline like he did earlier. Instead, it'll be Peterson backing up at the 9 to the 15-yard line, running to his left to the 20, swinging it to the outside at the 25-yard line, up the sideline to the 30. Excellent return by Alec Peterson as he's knocked out of bounds across the 35 towards the 36, maybe the 37. Cole Poifair, a junior, makes the tackle for Ken Denver.
Yeah, Peterson caught the ball clear over on the Kent Denver sideline and ran all the way over here to this side. You could tell he was kind of jogging up there to see if he could find where the hole was, and then he had to tell his legs to go fast. Once he did, he got to the sideline and turned it up.
Bee Diggers have the football at their own 36-yard line. 1st and 10, trailing 7-0 on that 73-yard run by Jaden Franklin. Mitch Tormolen under center on 1st down. With a back split. We'll hand it off to Rosenbrock, running left, and he runs into Sun Devils, breaks out of a tackle, and dives to the 38-yard line, a gain of 2. The initial hit was made by Jake Michelson, the 6'2", 230-pound senior defensive lineman. 2nd down and 8 to go for Brush.
So what they're doing defensively, now that I see it better, they have Brennan Jones, their number 25, their big linebacker. He stands there in the middle, right behind their middle linebacker. He waits to see which side we shift, and he shifts to that side. They pull their corner in or their strong safety in, and they just overload the side of our strength.
2nd down and 8 from the 38-yard line with a back split. There's the counter to Morrow running right. He's going to be hit in the backfield, dropped for a loss of 3 by Chance Tanner, the senior linebacker. 3rd and 11 to go for Brush.
Yeah, that didn't seem like Jake ever really had a chance to get going. It didn't, the play didn't have a lot of speed to it, did it? It was pretty laid back. It was not like he was attacking that hole over there on that 36.
3rd and 11 from the 35-yard line. The Bee Diggers went 3 and out on their opening drive. Now they're in a passing situation. They've run the ball 5 times. One receiver out to the left on 3rd and 11. Tormolen is going to roll to his left. He's got plenty of protection. Throwing along the sideline, tipped and incomplete. It was tipped away at the line of scrimmage by Tom Bluher, the 6'3", 177-pound junior. It'll be 4th down, and the Bee Diggers have done nothing offensively over the first 6 plays.
Nope, we got a grand total of about 0 yards. Well, actually 4 yards, considering the tackles for loss. But, even on that play, he threw it over here to Jake. Jake ran a pattern where he ran down about 11 yards and then had to come back for the ball. Even if he would have caught it, he would have still been about 6 yards short of a 1st down.
Jaden Franklin and Trevin Hamlet back deep to receive. Kyle Rosenbrock standing at his own 20. The Sun Devils standing at their 32. Perfect snap. Rosenbrock gets it off and towards the sideline, and that is not a good punt whatsoever. Too much of an angle. Rosenbrock knows that Ken Denver is going to have great field position. That ball's going to be somewhere around the 45, maybe midfield. And they're still walking it off, and that ball will be at midfield, and that was an atrocious punt, 15 yards.
Yeah.
Rosenbrock has been solid all season long, but there he got too much of the sideline.
You know, they're just thinking about trying to keep the ball away from the speed that Kent Denver has and, you know, kicking it to the sideline or kicking it near the sideline to prevent that return, but sometimes you can overthink things.
1st and 10 from the 50. Joey Matarazzo under center with a back split. He's going to hand it off to Brandon Jones running left, and he's got some good yardage to about the 45-yard line, running across the left side, tackled by Alec Peterson. But it's a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 to go for Ken Denver, which looks very comfortable on this field and brush so far.
Yeah, they're not. You can tell they're not sweating it too much. That play right there, though, we were tackling the ball, not really going after his legs, and he's a big guy, a lot like we saw with Quarry last week.
Stop, shop, and save with all of your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. 1302 West Edison Street in Brush in a shotgun, 2nd and 5. Back to throw Matarazzo, rolling to his right, still rolling, throw on the run. The pass is going to be intercepted along the sideline. It looked like he was in bounds. And was that Alec Peterson who picked it off? It was along the sideline by Peterson. And the Beat Diggers have come up with a huge turnover here midway through the opening quarter as they'll start for their 44-yard line.
He just broke on that ball perfectly, stepped right in front. Actually, he had to re-grab it as the ball almost bounced off his chest a little bit, gathered it in, and even ran ahead a couple more yards. So good play there for Alec, and a good job of reading the eyes of Matarazzo as Matarazzo ran on that bootleg out here to the right side.
Well, the Beat Diggers now have got to execute a lot better as Digger Den is making his appearance, hoping the Beat Diggers play a little bit better here offensively. They've gone 3 and out on 2 consecutive possessions. Tormolen back to throw off the play action, looking, throwing along the sideline, and the pass is incomplete. Too tall for Randy Baker, who had a small seam at the 40-yard line. Lance Schwint is claiming that Jake Brown might have been held upfield. One of the Beat Digger assistant coaches not happy with that.
And they were close together over there. I think they need to make sure when they run their patterns where they line up, they have to make sure when they make their breaks, there's some separation to make a bigger alley there for.
And it's easier for the official to see too.
Exactly.
2nd down and 10. The Beat Diggers have the ball at their own 44-yard line, trailing 7-0. 6:35 to go opening quarter in this 2A state quarterfinal. Tormolen hands it off right up the gut, and a small hole there for Jake Morrow, a gain of 2 to the 46-yard line. The initial hit came from Jake Michelson, cleaned up by Layman Cobb, the 5'11", 255-pound senior. 3rd and 8 to go for Brush.
Yeah, he hesitated when he took the handoff. It was just a 25 dive. He should be able to run straight ahead, but obviously one of the defensive linemen there for Kent Denver had the hole plugged up, and he had a stutter step. He couldn't run fast. He had to try to cut it back to get the yards.
Trips to the right. 3rd and 8 from the 46. One setback. That's Rosenbrock. Tormolen back to throw. Look, might be setting up the screen. No, throw it along the right sideline. Complete. And it's caught by Brown inside the 45 on a perfect pass by Tormolen to about the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 15 and a Beat Digger 1st down.
And what's nice about that, the fact that now Kent Denver's going to have to think twice about them moving their linebackers around. They're going to have to start respecting those receivers out there, which should help open up our running game.
Yeah, the Beat Diggers have got to use the entire field at this point, knowing that, as you mentioned, they've been solid right in the middle of the field. 1st and 10 for Brush with a football at the Ken Denver 39-yard line. We've got 5:50 to go. And the clock is rolling in the opening quarter. Ken Denver leads Brush 7-0. Now trips to the left. Rosenbrock is the lone setback. The pitch left to Rosenbrock looking for a seam. He utilizes stiff arm and then continues to drive and spin his way inside the 40 to the 37, a gain of 2 when it looked like he was going to lose a couple of yards. The initial hit made by Brandon Jones, but it's 2nd down and 8 instead of 2nd and 12.
Exactly, yeah. Brian Boatman, their defensive end, he got a lot of penetration over here on this Beat Digger sideline. He just got across the line of scrimmage so far that Rosenbrock had to make a decision to cut back where all the pursuit was or try to take it out a little bit further to the sideline, and he tried to take it to the sideline and cut everything off.
Brown, Guzman, and Peterson are the receivers to the right. 2nd down and 8 for the Ken Denver 37 with one setback. Tormolen hands it off to Rosenbrock right up the gut. He's got a yard, maybe to the 36. Very tough sledding. Brandon Jones has already been in on several plays. No gain, in fact. 3rd down and 8 to go for the Beet Diggers in what undoubtedly is 4-down territory.
Yeah, one thing you can see about this Ken Denver team is when they move and when they execute, they go fast. It's a sprint. When that ball snapped, offensively and defensively, there's no hesitation. They're going hard, and whatever happens, happens.
It is beginning to rain here at Beet Digger Stadium on that left hash mark. 3rd and 8 for Brush at the Ken Denver 37. Brown is the receiver to the left. Tormolen, and we've got a stoppage somewhere. Timeout called by the Beet Diggers. That one brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. You can give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. And, Dave, that ball was at the 37. Now it's at the 36. We see this all the time in high school football where for some reason the ball gets, this time in the Beet Diggers' advantage, it gets placed a little bit closer to the 36. Not a big deal, at least right now. What the big deal is how the Beet Diggers are going to execute their next play now that we've got some rain coming.
Yeah, I don't know. You look down at the track, it's almost like those little micro styrofoam snowballs, that are out there landing. You can see there's just a glitter of them out there on the black track. They're easy to see.
3rd and 7 now, we'll call it, with the ball just shy of the 36. Brown is now the receiver to the right. Brett Bostrom and Kyle Rosenbrock are in the backfield. Ken Denver's 7-0 lead came as a result of a 73-yard run by Jaden Franklin. Tormolen on the pitch right to Bostrom. Takes it to the outside of the 35, cuts it back to the inside, and it's down at the 34. He ran hard, but Ken Denver, as you mentioned, very quick defensively. And that tackle was made over there by Chance Tanner. It's a gain of only 1. 4th down and 6 to go for Brush at the Ken Denver 35, and this will be the 7th play of the possession.
So the ball's on the 35. We'll see what happens here. The Diggers have seen how powerful their running attack is offensively. They might need to think about just going for it just to try to keep that Ken Denver offense off the field.
Guzman and Peterson are in. Klein and Bostrom are out. 4th and 6 from the 35-yard line of the Sun Devils. 2 receivers split each side. On 4th down, Tormolen is back to throw. Pressure coming. Steps up. He throws, and that pass is incomplete. He was being hit as he released the football towards the right sideline. He had no choice but to at least make an attempt to throw the football. And Ken Denver takes over on downs with decent field position at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, they sent their 4 plus a couple more linebackers, and even though we had those receivers out there, Ken Denver didn't care. They were coming right after Tormolen. They figured they'd get to him before he threw the ball.
Dave, we're seeing that play calling is going to be huge in this game already because Ken Denver defensively, after allowing the 35 points last week to Strasburg, is playing like the team they performed like during the regular season. There's the handoff to the D-back Franklin running towards the left sideline across the 40 to the 45. Still on his feet, knocked out of bounds by Eddie Arribas, but not before he picks up 13 yards and a Sun Devil first down.
Yeah, he just made it look easy. Ken Denver's doing a good job of blocking. Boy, they're getting on our guys. Our guys are just not having very good luck at shedding those blocks, and we had that trouble, throughout the season. Those blockers come out, they get into your body, and you have to have that strength and the skill to grab a hold of them and throw them out of your way so you can make the tackle.
2 carries for Franklin for 86 yards. Backs in an eye. Mazzarato on 1st and 10 from the 48. There's the handoff to Jones running right. He runs into Rosenbrock at the line of scrimmage, then spins his way to the 49 as he stretches out the football for a gain of 1. Maverick Seawald also in on the play. 2nd down and 9 to go for Ken Denver, just shy of midfield.
Yeah, he didn't pick up much there. We hit him behind the line of scrimmage, but again, didn't hit him low. Everybody that jumped on was up on top.
The friendly staff at High Plains Bank in Wiggins is ready to assist you with a home loan, equity line of credit, commercial loan, or checking account to receive hometown service in a Higher Plain. Visit High Plains Bank today. 2nd and 9 from the 49-yard line. And there's the handoff to the deep back Franklin, taking it to the outside. Speed to burn to the 45-yard line, and he's hit right there and might have gained an extra yard to the 44 as Chase Klein was in on the hit. The problem there, it's a pickup of 7, 3rd down and 2 to go for Kent Denver in Beet Digger territory at the 44.
So Franklin's got 3 carries for 93 yards. And like you say, I think that, I don't know if that play was designed to be a sweep. I think it was supposed to be off tackle, but he was just able to pop that thing over to the outside.
3rd and 2 from the 44-yard line. The Beet Diggers down 7-0 with 2:14 to go in the opening quarter at Beet Digger Stadium. Franklin, the lone setback. Matarazzo under center. Is Franklin going to get the handoff? He does. Right up the gut. First down as he drives to the 41, a gain of 3. Rosenbrock in on the hit, but not before he picked up the first down.
Yeah, we had him hit again, though, in the backfield, just an arm tackle that we couldn't hold on to. But the Diggers are starting to zero in on that Kent Denver offense.
And they've got to zero in a little bit quicker. If not, they'll be down 14-0.
Yeah.
On 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. In a shotgun formation is Matarazzo. Awaiting the snap, has the football, 2-step drop, looking, throws it over the middle, passes tipped, incomplete. Almost said that incorrectly, which I did, but either way, broken up by Rosenbrock at about the 30-yard line, and that was intended over there by for Cole Poifair. 2nd down and 10 to go for Kent Denver.
Yeah, we had 3 guys right around there. Our safety was deeper, our corner was right there, and our linebacker was drifted back, and we just weren't able to get anybody underneath that tip ball.
2nd down and 10. And there's the gift to Brandon Jones right up the gut. He runs over Beet Diggers inside the 35-yard line, down at the 33. A powerful run by Brandon Jones. Let's see if they give him the 33 or they backtrack it to the 34. Either way, it's a gain of close to 7. 3rd and 3 to go for Kent Denver.
Yeah, he was the only one there in the backfield. And, you know, they tried to show like a fake, like they were handing it off to him, and then the quarterback acted like he pulled it out and then ran over to the left side. But now Franklin's back in the game, and they're going to probably give him the ball now that Jones will get a breather.
1:15 to go, opening quarter. Kent Denver 7, Brush nothing. Kent Denver has the ball 3rd and 3 at the Brush 34-yard line. The D-back once again is Jaden Franklin, who's been electric so far. Under center is Matarazzo. And the keeper. And backing his way towards that first down marker is Matarazzo. I think he's got it at the 31-yard line, running across the left side, very close to the marker. No, they're going to say the football was backtracked to the 32, a gain of 2, 4th and less than a yard to go for Kent Denver. They're going for it.
So Kent Denver lined up in a power I formation with that power back over on the left side. They faked the handoff with Matarazzo, and then he pulled it out at the last minute and then just kind of followed him off tackle. Beet Diggers were able to plug that up and stop him.
4th and less than a yard to go from the Beet Digger 32. Matarazzo hands off to Jones. He powers his way for a first down to the 30, being driven back. The Beet Diggers think they stopped him, but that looks like a first down from this vantage point.
Yeah, the officials are standing right there on about the 30-yard line, so the marker was on the 31, and they're standing pretty close to the 30.
Yeah, it was a good play, but it's a gain of 2. 1st and 10 for Kent Denver at the Brush 30-yard line. And that could be the final play of the opening quarter unless they decide to run up to the line of scrimmage, as the clock has not been restarted yet for the movement of the chains. I think that's what Matarazzo's waiting for. And they still haven't restarted it for some reason. Well, because the officials got to signal it, and now does.
I'm not sure what the deal. I don't know if there was like an equipment issue over there for Kent Denver or what. They were hanging out there.
That's the end of the opening quarter. This 2A state quarterfinal. Kent Denver 7, Brush nothing. You're listening to the 2012 Colorado High School Football Playoffs on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beet Digger Stadium as we begin the second quarter. Kent Denver leads Brush 7-0. Kent Denver with a football after getting a first down and a 4th and 1. They've got the ball at the Beet Digger 30. Matarazzo with Jones and Franklin in the backfield. On 1st and 10, the handoff to Franklin, running off left tackle. Now swings it to the outside, tripped up after a short gain by Randy Baker. But the gain was close to 3 yards to the 27. 2nd down and 7. The Bee Diggers have got to stop Franklin before he really gets going.
Yeah, that offensive line is just firing off so fast. When they snap the ball, there's no hesitation. It's just so quick. Even when they come out of the huddle, they're really quick up to the line of scrimmage. And so that's the same way that they run their offense. And that being said, when they snap the ball, they're already upfield on you.
Rain is coming down harder at Bee Digger Stadium. 2nd and 7 for the 27. Matarazzo rolls to his right, still rolling, throws deep towards the end zone. That pass is going to be picked off. It is intercepted in the end zone, and that is picked off over there by Jake Brown. And the Bee Diggers have come up with their 2nd interception of the game after Alec Peterson picked off a pass in the opening quarter.
Boy, is Brush ever lucky that Kent Denver's not sticking with what works.
Honestly, Dave, I don't understand why Kent Denver's throwing the football when the running game has been successful, keeping the Bee Diggers in this game, essentially.
Also, they're against the wind now. We have the wind at our back now in the second quarter, so they're going to try to throw the long ball from, against the wind. I just can't believe it when they're so successful running it.
1st and 10 for Brush, lining up on the left hash mark at their own 20-yard line. The backs are split. Morrow and Rosenbrock. Handoff. Rosenbrock up the middle. Squeezes his way across the 20 towards the 23-yard line. The initial hit came from Layman Cobb. 2nd down and 7.
Probably our most successful play of the game other than that pass to Jake Brown, that 3 yards. And, that 30 series, that's what our game is. We love to run that. It makes our bootleg work. It makes our off-tackle work. And so, they got 3 yards on that trap, and it's something to build on.
You don't have to travel out of town to receive the best and most advanced hearing health care. Platte Valley Hearing Center, 409 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. 2nd and 7 from the 23-yard line. Tormolen back to throw off the play action. Now rolling to his right. Pressure is coming. Throws underneath. The pass is caught. That's a 1st down. Randy Baker took a shot at the 31-yard line from Chance Tanner. But it's a gain of 8 and a Bee Digger 1st down.
Boy, that was just a great job of Mitch. I know he wanted to go deep. I know he was looking over there at Klein, but Klein couldn't get open down the middle of the field, and he really wasn't on a sprint, so he looked short, saw Baker wide open, and Randy was smart enough to make sure he had 1st down yardage.
10:23 to go, 2nd quarter. Kent Denver 7, Brush nothing on a 73-yard touchdown run by Jaden Franklin. 1st and 10 for Brush at their own 31-yard line. Baker's in motion to the left. And the handoff to Rosenbrock, running off left tackle. He's got a seam across the 35 to the 40. He runs into a Kent Denver Sun Devil still going. He's got a 1st down at the 43. It's a gain of 12. Matt Pettijohn made the initial hit. But Kyle Rosenbrock with his best run of the opening half.
If that official isn't camped out there, Rosenbrock's got a lot more room to run. And how many times do you see that happen? Right when he's getting ready to make his cut, he runs into the official. But, Dave, they're part of the field, so it's fair.
And it's coming down right now. It's kind of like a diagonal rain. It's not coming straight down. 1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers at their own 43-yard line. With a back split. Baker's in motion to the right. Tormolen on the pitch right. A seam to the outside for Morrow along the sideline across the 50. Tackled at about the 49-yard line. No hesitation on that play. It's a gain of 8. And looks like Jared Voberil is down for Kent Denver. Let's see if I've got that right. No, check that. That's Layman Cobb. He's getting up now under his own power, but certainly he felt the effect of some hit or a block by one of the Bee Diggers. Nonetheless, Morrow with a big gain of 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 to go for Brush.
You bet. So we put a guy in motion, lined up strong. Right. We put that guy in motion. It made Kent Denver freeze their linebackers where they would after they shifted them, and then it broke Morrow open over here on that 58 pitch.
The Bee Diggers need to hold the football for a long time, keep that defense off the field. 2nd down and 2 to go for the Kent Denver 49-yard line. One receiver out to the right. Baker again in motion to the left. And there's the give to Bostrom. He leaps over a defender and has got a 1st down inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. And the initial hit was made by Trevin Hamlet, the 5'9", 160-pound junior linebacker. It's a gain of 5. And the Bee Diggers have 3 first downs on this possession.
Boy, there was some athleticism there, wasn't there? He ran that. There was just that dive on the left side, just that 25. He got there. He had to jump over the top of the Kent Denver player. And then as soon as he landed, he actually made a cut towards the sideline, which is what enabled him to pick up another yard or 2.
This drive started at their own 20-yard line. They're now at the Kent Denver 43. First and 10 for Brush. There's the give to Rosenbrock, taking it to the outside of the 40, along the sideline to the 35, still on his feet, and then he's going to be ridden out of bounds. But a big gain for Kyle Rosenbrock and a Beet Digger first down. He could have been tackled way back at about the 33-yard line. Instead, looks like he got the 26-yard line and a gain of 17.
So that takes him up to 37 yards now on 7 carries. And, you get into these games and, those guys like Rosenbrock that picked up a lot of yards during the season, this is when we need them to pick up those yards here. And, if he would have got one more block out here from his receiver, he might have been able to break that thing loose.
First and 10 for Brush, just inside the Ken Denver 26-yard line, trailing 7-0 with 8:54 to go in the opening half. Randy Baker is in motion once again to the left. And the inside handoff to Rosenbrock right up the gut, and he bulls his way for a couple of yards towards the 22. And there'll be 2nd down and 8 if he got the 22-yard. Well, actually, the initial possession was at the 26, so close to 3 yards in the play, 2nd down and 7.
Yep, so we tried to fake that 59 on the other side. Tremolin, even after he handed the ball to Rosenbrock, he still used his left hand and put it up in the air like it was a follow-through from that pitch.
2nd down and 7. And Rosenbrock is out of the game. Apparently a blood issue there. I wonder if the Beet Diggers might have to call a timeout because they're taking time to get this play in. The ball's just inside the Ken Denver 23-yard line. Jake Morrow back in the lineup. So Morrow in the backfield with Brett Bostrom on 2nd down and 7 to go for the Beet Diggers. Brown is the receiver to the right. On 2nd down, Tormolin on the bootleg, running right, looks for a seam to the 20, along the sideline, leaps over a defender, and is close to a first down, taken down at about the 15-yard line. That will be a first down if that's the spot. It would be a gain of 8 for Mitch Tormolin.
You bet. What a nice bootleg there. But again, we just need that one more block. We're just having a hard time picking that corner up, and he was able to slide in there. He was able to fend off that block and dive in there at Tremolin's legs and kind of tripped him up. That's what put Tremolin airborne.
1st and 10 for Brush. They have gone 65 yards. They need 15 more. Rosenbrock back in the game. And now Ken Denver's called a timeout. We'll take it with him. 7:30 to go, 2nd quarter. Ken Denver 7, Brush nothing. You are listening to the 2012 Colorado High School Football Playoffs on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beet Digger Stadium with 7.5 to go, 2nd quarter. In this 2A state quarterfinal, Ken Denver with a 7-0 lead on a 73-yard burst up the right sideline by Jaden Franklin on Ken Denver's opening drive. Ken Denver's turned it over on their next 2 possessions. Interceptions thrown by Joey Matarazzo, one to Alec Peterson, the other to Jake Brown. And Brown is the receiver to the right. In the backfield are Rosenbrock and Bostrom. The Beet Diggers looking for the tying touchdown and extra point. The backs are split. Tormolin hands it off to Rosenbrock, running off right tackle. He drives and spins his way towards the 10-yard line. They were trying to strip the football, but Rosenbrock cradled it with both arms and hands. It's a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 to go for Brush.
Yep, so just running that 30 series again, making that trap work and following through with that fake with our off tackle on the other side. And then Tremolin also following through with his bootleg fake. It's just going to open everything up, including that play action that we're going to be able to use a little bit better with the wind at our back.
2nd down and 5 with a football at the 10-yard line of Ken Denver. Baker's in motion to the left. Tormolin on the pitch left to Bostrom, looking for a block, cuts it back to the inside. He's down at the line of scrimmage. Brian Boatman from his defensive end position made the play. No gain for Bostrom. 3rd and 5 to go for the Beet Diggers.
Yeah, that just closed up in a hurry. That defensive end came across. It forced Bostrom to have to cut it up and didn't allow him to get to the sideline where he's usually most effective with his speed.
Brush's local Napa and Hardware Hankson Small Engine Repair Shop is Hometown Auto and Hardware at 1305 Edison Street in Brush. Under the 6.5-minute mark to go, 2nd quarter. Ken Denver 7, Brush nothing. The Beet Diggers face a huge play, 3rd down and 5 from the Sun Devil 10. This team allowed just 50 points during the regular season, 5-0. On 3rd down and 5. Tormolin on the handoff to Rosenbrock to the 5. Back to the middle. He drives towards the goal line, and he is going to be just shy, but it's a first and goal from the 1. It's a gain of 9 for Rosenbrock, and he ran through a huge hole.
You know what the deal was, though, is we faked that 58 again. Tremolin's doing a really good job because he actually has to throw it to get that quick pitch in that 58. He actually has to pitch it underneath Rosenbrock's arms. So what he's doing is he's handing it off to Rosenbrock and then still carrying on that fake with his other hand really high in the air. And you can tell those linebackers are biting on that, and they're continuing out wide in that pursuit of Bostrom.
First and goal for the Bee Diggers. With the football at the 1-yard line. There's the handoff to Bostrom right up the gut, and he's in there for a touchdown. A touchdown for the Bee Diggers. And they're to within a point. It's Ken Denver 7, Brush 6.
Boy, what just a great drive there. 80 yards and just real systematic. And, no, other than that 15-yard or that 12-yarder and a 17-yarder, the rest of them were just really nice bites of yardage, just more conventional offense that we're used to.
Dave, we found out last week that the extra point is huge. Jesus had 2 extra points that were blocked. And he won the game with an extra point because Manitou Springs' Ashley Benson missed an extra point.
Well, they lined up Jaden Franklin right over there on our left side, same spot where we got it blocked last week.
Low snap. The kick is up. That looks good, and that one is. 5:41 to go before the break. It is Brush 7, Ken Denver 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 12 plays, 80 yards in 5 minutes and 33 seconds, nearly half of the second quarter. Off a Jake Brown interception in the end zone, Brett Bostrom scores from a yard out. The extra point was good, and it's a brand new ball game. We're deadlocked at 7. Now the Bee Diggers have got to continue to play defense and force turnovers. Jesus to kick it off, and this one's going to be an onside kick, and the ball's going to be fielded by Ken Denver at their own 49-yard line by Alex Lippett. Wow, that's a big gamble, Dave, because now Ken Denver, with 5:37 to go before the break, has got great field position and receives a second-half kickoff. If the Bee Diggers don't show up defensively right now, they could be in a heap of trouble.
Yep, that could be real painful. That was that 2 possession or that two chances to score sort of situation you just brought up. And, it was kind of weird on that onside kick. It was more in the middle of the field. He actually recovered it on the hash. It didn't happen out here close to the sideline.
1st and 10, Matarazzo under center. Brian Boatman is in motion to the right, and there's the pitch right to Franklin, taking it towards the outside across the 50 to the 40-yard line, and he tries to break out of a tackle, but Brett Bostrom brings him down at the 37, but it's a gain of 14 and a Sun Devil first down.
He really stuttered his steps, didn't he? He got up there by Bostrom, and he gave a couple stutter steps and really made it look like he was going inside and try to break it back to the outside, and the kid's got some moves.
And, Dave, if you're Ken Denver, why even try to throw the football? They've been disastrous with a passing game. 2 interceptions, and a third one was batted up and nearly intercepted.
Exactly. They got almost 135 yards on the ground running the ball. I don't know why they'd throw it, but I hope they would have passed it right now.
Matarazzo in a shotgun. Brandon Jones, the fullback, to his left. And the option left, Matarazzo will take off with the football along the sideline to the 35, and he runs into a Bee Digger, Brett Bostrom, who rides him out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3 yards, 2nd down and 7 to go for Ken Denver with a clock stop with 5:01 to go, second quarter, tied at 7.
Boy, it's slick out there. You look at we have mats on the long jump runways and out here on the track, and they're the same green mats we've had for years, and you look at them, they're just shiny, slick because it's so wet out there.
2nd down and 7 to go for the 34. The rain has subsided a bit, though, but it's cold out there. There's no question about it. Lining up on that left hash mark, the receiver to the right is Pettijohn. 3 in the backfield, including the deep back, the sophomore Jaden Franklin from the Bee Digger 34. Matarazzo has the football, hands off to Franklin, running left, first down inside the 25 to the 24. Bee Diggers cannot stop him. Kyle Rosenbrock makes the tackle, but it's a gain of 10 for Jaden Franklin and a first down for the Sun Devils.
The Diggers are going to have to stay low up there on that defensive line. They can't stand up and allow that offensive line to push them backwards, or at least to hold their ground, and it creates that hole. And the other thing is when our defensive linemen stand up, it makes it hard for our linebackers to see Franklin because he's not that big.
A fumble would be nice here because, again, under slick conditions, that might be the best way. The turnover has been the best way for the Bee Diggers to stop the opposition in this game. From the 24, Matarazzo hands it off on the counter, and running right and running into Oscar Soto is Trevin Hamlet, who takes a huge hit at the 23-yard line, a gain of only 1. 2nd down and 9 to go for Ken Denver, and Soto with his best hit of the season.
Absolutely. He wrapped him up, and then it was kind of a wrestling move. He got behind him and kind of souplayed him backwards and really slammed him to the turf.
The only fear there, Dave, if Soto's not there, Hamlet's got big yardage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But he's a defensive lineman, and he had to come up to make that play. So, it kind of shows, what kind of a surge that offensive line's getting.
From the 23-yard line of Brush, 2nd down and 9. The game tied at 7, 3:51 to go, 2nd quarter. Matarazzo under center is going to hand it off to Franklin across the left side, and he's going to back his way towards the 21-yard line. A bevy of Bee Diggers, including Alec Peterson and Jake Morrow, along with Kyle Rosenbrock, in to make the play. It's a gain of only 2 yards. Very interesting now, 3rd and 7 from the Bee Digger 21-yard line with a passing game if Ken Denver decides to go to it that has really struggled so far.
I'll tell you what, I'd expect him to run over to that sideline, just pitch it out wide and let Franklin use his speed as they're over here on the near hash mark. They're right in front of the Digger bench. They're headed north. They could run over towards their own sideline. They have that whole green area.
Officially 3rd and 6 for the Bee Digger 20. Receiver split to the left and right. I still would expect a handoff based on what's happened so far. In a shotgun formation as Matarazzo has the football. No, he's back to throw. No pressure. Throws to his right. Wide open. Pass is caught. 1st down to the 8-yard line. Matt Pettijohn was wide open. A nice route, a perfect pass, and a gain of 11.
In their first reception of the game, 11 yards. He was wide. He had about 3 yards on Peterson, and the thing you have to give him credit is he ran down the middle of the field, and then he broke it to the sideline, and that was a long ways for Matarazzo to throw the ball, and it took a long time for the ball to get over there because it was just a long ways away.
Yeah, they'll give him 12 yards officially. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Matarazzo awaits the snap. He's under center this time. He'll pitch it left to Franklin. He's got speed to the outside. Takes it to the 5 towards the pylon. Is he in? If not, he's close. He's into the end zone, just inside the left pylon. 2nd touchdown of the game for Jaden Franklin comes from 8 yards out, and Ken Denver's reclaimed the lead. It's 13-7.
The only way we're going to be able to stop him on those pitches is our corners are going to have to do a lot better job of just flying up there. They're doing a good job of hitting our strong safety and hooking him in. Peterson's having a hard time coming out or getting out there to be able to come up, but our corners are going to have to really start doing a better job of flying up and giving us some run support.
Well, this time it looks like that's still Rader out there to accept the extra point. It is. Awaiting the snap. There it is. The kick is up by Rader, and that one is good. 2:42 to go, 2nd quarter. Ken Denver 14, Brush 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. You give Ken Denver a short field, they make you pay. 7 plays, 51 yards in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Jaden Franklin with an 8-yard run, his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the top-seeded Sun Devils lead the 9-seeded Bee Diggers 14-7, and Rader to kick it off. Kyle Rosenbrock back deep to receive at the 9-yard line. This will be a high, short kick towards the sideline. Gutierrez has it at the 40-yard line, or the 30, I should say, along the left sideline across the 35 to the 37. So a return of about 7 yards for Michael Gutierrez. So the Bee Diggers, with 2 timeouts and 2:36 to go before the break, have good field position.
Yep, just like you said, though, we're going to have a little bit bigger play than what we had on that initial drive. But I'll tell you what, Mikey did a good job of receiving that ball, didn't he? Because there's a little bit of a wind. They kicked it really high, and then the ball stopped there for him. So he had to kind of get under it like it was a fly ball in an outfield.
1st and 10 for Brush at their own 37-yard line. Yeah, they cannot give the ball back to Ken Denver before the end of this first half either. In motion to the right is Randy Baker. And the handoff inside to Rosenbrock, and he runs right into a couple of defenders at the 39. Wow, some hard hitting out there. Brannon Jones was one of the defenders for Ken Denver, along with Layman Cobb. A gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 to go for Brush as we approach the 2 minutes and 15-second mark of the 2nd quarter.
Again, faking that quick pitch, just handing it off to Rosenbrock on the trap.
Peterson and Baker are the receivers to the right. Man in motion is Guzman, 2nd down and 8. Back to throw Tormolin. Looking, throwing to his right. That pass going to be caught by Baker. A leaping reception at the 47-yard line. Boy, that was a rough throw by Tormollen. I don't know how he worked that out, but it works out for the Beet Diggers very nicely. And it's a gain of 14 and a first down for Brush.
Well, how did Tormollen get it over there considering the traffic and all the pressure he had back there? But I'll tell you what, Baker, man, that's the last 3 or 4 catches he's made, including last week. Those are just amazing. It's just a great job of going up in the air for the ball.
He went up for that catch like it was a rebound in basketball. He just had position on the defender.
Yeah, but he had to fight for that position.
Trips to the right. 1st and 10 for the Beet Diggers. Tormollen rolling to his right, setting up a screen to the left, and it's over the right hand of Randy Baker, incomplete. That might be a good thing because that was read perfectly by Matt Jones. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to go for the Beet Diggers at the Ken Denver 47.
Yeah, on those screens, the offensive line really needs to try to hold up those defensive linemen a little bit. They got to hold them up a little bit and really make them hungry and try to sell the downfield pass. And on that play, it kind of looked like we just released them right away, and Tormollen had too much pressure too fast in order to make a good pass.
2nd down and 10 for Brush at the Ken Denver 47. 3 receivers to the left, Brown, Guzman, and Peterson. The lone setback is Kyle Rosenbrock. Looks like Ken Denver's bringing additional pressure. Handoff, Rosenbrock right up the middle. He's got 2 yards to the 45. Yeah, tough to gain additional yardage when the blocking just was not there. 3rd down and 8 to go for the Beet Diggers with 1:29 to go on the clock running, trailing 14-7 in the second quarter.
And they've got to do a better job of hustling and using that clock now. The kids are kind of taking their time and walking up to the line of scrimmage, and they got to realize there's only so much time left in the half and how critical that is as they kick the ball to Kent Denver pretty soon.
2 receivers split each side. On 3rd and 8 from the 45, Tormollen is back to throw. Pressure coming. Screen over the middle. Caught by Rosenbrock, and he spins his way for a first down inside the 40. I think he might have it at the 36. Very close. Yeah, it looks like he's right there for. And is a timeout not being called, or it is right now?
Yeah,
to the 36-yard line.
Oh, they gave him the first down.
Oh, it looked clearly like it's a gain of 9. They needed 8. So I know there was a little discrepancy down on the field, and maybe even with the assistants up here, but it's a first down at the 36-yard line. Now the Beet Diggers have to get right up to the line of scrimmage off that screen pass right up the gut. The clock is running. We're at 53 seconds to go, second quarter. Trips to the left from the 36-yard line of Kent Denver. Tormollen back to pass. Throws it left side. Caught by Rosenbrock underneath at the 40-yard line. Along the left sideline to the 35. He's got to get out of bounds, and I don't think he did. And the clock's going to keep running. Beet Diggers have to call a timeout, although it's close to a gain of 10. He might have gotten only 9 on the play. 40.5 seconds to go. And the ball's going to be placed at the 28-yard line, so a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2, and 2 plays in a row going to Rosenbrock through the air. And they've both been very productive, Dave. That timeout brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health, State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. Now, Dave, you're playing with time and only 1 timeout.
Yep, boy, we're under the gun. The guys got to know, there's only so much time on the clock. Get to the sideline and get out of bounds. Kent Denver's got so much pressure on Tormollen because when we send our tight end out on a pattern, their defensive end's just on a dead rush on Tormollen. So he's got to get rid of the ball really fast, and that's what happened right there. That's why he had to throw it quick to his running back.
2nd down and 2 with a football at the Ken Denver 28-yard line. 40.5 seconds to go before the break. Brush trails by 7. Tormollen's going to roll to his right. Still rolling. Throws along the sideline. Passes incomplete. Off the hands of Jake Brown. Would have been a first down at about the 22. 3rd down and 2 to go for Brush. 34.7 seconds to go. Still 4 down territory, Dave, because really a little bit too long for a field goal right now. Plus, you've only got 2 yards to get before you get the first down.
Right. But you know what we did see before the game? We saw Jesus Cardenas kicking it in from right there around where the ball's at. So we know he's got the leg to do it.
Line of scrimmage was the 28. Now that looks like the 27, Dave. I'm telling you.
It was a good timeout. These timeouts that we take, every time we take a timeout, the next player or play later, we get another yard.
Well, we'll call it from the 27 now, like a 3rd and 1. Tormollen back to throw. Plenty of protection. Throws deep towards the middle. That pass is going to be intercepted at the 6-yard line. Running across the 15 to the 20, along the sideline to the 30, and going to be tackled out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Joey Matarazzo, that ball hung in the air for Nico Guzman, but there was no way that he was going to be able to make the play, and the Beet Diggers turn it over for the first time in the game.
Yeah, it's brutal because all we needed was a couple yards for a first down, and we kind of chose to go with the long ball and the long patterns, and I think the ball slipped out of his hands, and it was one of those ducks where the nose of the football was pointing up in the air, and it was just waddling up there. Ken Denver, our defense is really going to have to come through right now. We've got to have them.
Well, let's see if Ken Denver goes for the kill. They've only got 20.9 seconds to go, but they're setting up under center is Matarazzo. They might just hand it off to Jaden Franklin, see what happens. From their own 39-yard line, a return of 33. The handoff to Franklin, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. Excellent penetration by Tyler Stratman, and just back, a gain of 1. And that'll be the end of the opening half. With the score, Ken Denver 14, Brush 7. You're listening to the 2012 Colorado High School Football Playoffs on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We head to the second half. Ken Denver leads Brush 14-7. The Beet Diggers will kick off. John Beltran with Dave Urich at Beet Digger Stadium, where the weather has gotten worse, colder, windier, and rainier, Dave.
Yeah, it's definitely wet and cold out there. Diggers are kicking off now. This is big. We got to get that ball clear down the field. We got the little bit of wind there is. The flag's mostly hanging down, but the little bit of wind there is, it's to our back, and we're going to be facing that in the fourth quarter now. So we got to get a big kick here and force Kent to lose this field position battle.
Jesus Cardenas to kick it off high and very short. It will be dropped, and the ball is loose, but it's pounced on by Ken Denver and Cole Poifair at the 30-yard line on that little pooch kick by Jesus. He wanted to keep it out of the hands of Trevin Hamlet and Jaden Franklin, so pretty good job there by the Beet Diggers as Ken Denver starts at their own 30, but you got to play the defense now.
Yep, now we got to shut them down. We got to get a couple of those big stops on first and second down, force Ken into that throwing situation, make them try to lose their feel on offense. And, they kind of did that earlier in the game. They started throwing the ball when they probably didn't need to, but it'd be nice to make them start hitting that panic button a little bit right now.
Under center is the quarterback, Joey Matarazzo. 1st and 10 from the 30. The backs are in an eye. Brandon Jones and Jaden Franklin. Handoff to Jones right up the gut. He's hit after a short gain. And I think the ball was fumbled. They're going to say it was down. Oh, the Beet Diggers thought the ball was fumbled before Brandon Jones went down. But the officials say that he was down. And then the ball came out after he made contact with the ground. It's a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. A bad break for the Beet Diggers.
Yeah, I'm afraid. I thought that was our ball there. I really did.
Yeah, honestly, I never saw the fumble. So but that's what happens when it occurs in a tight window. 2nd down and 8 from the 32-yard line. There is the pitch right to Franklin. Got to stop him short of his tracks. He runs into a blocker. Then he tries to reverse his field, tries to break out of a tackle. He's going to be thrown for a huge loss all the way back to about the 23-yard line. A massive loss. Chase Klein was back there with other Beet Diggers. The line of scrimmage. Let's see if that indeed will be the 23, which would make that a loss of 9 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 17.
Yeah, Chase Klein did a good job. He used his left hand. He just held onto his shirt and just waited for some diggers to get there and help him bring Franklin down.
Got to make the play now. 3rd and 17 from their own 23. Matarazzo is going to hand it off to Franklin. Stutter stepping back towards the middle. A short gain of about 3 yards. Maverick Seawald holds him up. And it's a gain of about 3 yards to the 26. 4th and 14. And Ken Denver will have to punt.
Boy, it's a beautiful thing, and now hopefully we can get in there and get something after him. I noticed Franklin's getting up very slowly, still on the ground. He just barely got up. I don't know if it's out of frustration or if it's out of pain, but the Diggers didn't hit him low. They still are tackling really high, and guys are coming in there trying to rip and tear the ball out of there, but somebody put the hurts on Franklin.
Yeah, Brian Boatman to punt, standing at his own 12-yard line. Randy Baker deep to receive at his own 43, awaiting the snap. It's a low snap. He gets it off towards the sideline. Pretty good punt at the 48-yard line. Bakerfield to the 45, up the middle to the 50. Stutter steps, and he dives inside the 50 to the 48-yard line. A return of about 7 yards for Randy Baker, and the Beet Diggers start in Ken Denver territory, so it didn't affect the Beet Diggers kicking off to begin the second half.
Nope, and that was what we were worried about. Giving Kent Denver the opportunity for a two touchdown lead, but our defense sure did come through, and they zeroed in. They made some adjustments, and we got upfield on that one play when Franklin was trying to roll out to the right side and get to the sideline. Rosenbrock got upfield. It forced him to have to stop and cut back, and that's when Chase Klein grabbed a hold of him.
The Bee Diggers have been a second-half team all year, including last week when they routed to beat Manitou Springs. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of Kent Denver. Baker in motion to the right. Handoff. Rosenbrock running right towards the 45-yard line as he was tripped up. But not before picking up 3 yards. Trevin Hamlet made the tackle. 2nd down and 7 for Brush.
Yeah, Hamlet didn't want to have anything to do with Rosenbrock as we ran that fake pitch over on this side, and Rosenbrock was ready to lower his shoulder on him, but Hamlin just dove in there and grabbed him around his ankles and tripped him up.
Serving you the best coffees, lattes, and smoothies, now open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to better serve you and ready to make your favorite specialty drink or offer a sweet treat. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies, 921 Edison Street in Brush. 2nd and 7 for the Kent Denver 45. Baker's in motion to the right. Handoff. Morrow running left inside the 45 towards the 40. Strong running for Jake Morrow before he was hit right there at the 40-yard line by one of the linebackers. That looked like Tom Bluher made the play. 3rd down and 2 to go for Brush.
So the Diggers kind of ran just an ISO over there on that side, and it's I think it's that 20 series that they ran there, and boy, he just covered the ball with both hands over the nose of the football and just kept his shoulders facing upfield.
3rd and 2 from the Kent Denver 40. Brush trails 14-7, 8.5 to go. 3rd quarter. Handoff. Rosenbrock left side. 1st down. Still on his feet. Spins inside the 30 towards the 28-yard line. A nice run by Kyle Rosenbrock, and he picks up 12 yards.
Takes him to 73 now on 14 carries. And I'll tell you what, this is just that back-breaking kind of stuff the Diggers have to do. They got to run the football convincingly like this. It's cold out there. This isn't something that you're going to see these kids from Denver used to. They're not used to having to, play with the grid on a real field with no trees around and a bunch of big buildings to protect them from the wind.
One of the Kent Denver players injured and down on his back at the 25-yard line as Jake Morrow checks in. And Brett Bostrom will check out of the game. They haven't utilized Bostrom as much this week as they did a week ago, Dave.
Yeah, remember we started out with 3 plays to Bostrom right off the bat, but I'm telling you, just the presence on the field that Brett brings. And offensively, he's had a couple of big plays, but defensively, it's where it's at. And you don't always see, him making the tackle, but he's over there forcing people to stop and cut back, and we saw him make one huge tackle here in the first half.
Don't let finances stand in your way of pursuing your college education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session, that will get you on the right track and find out what options are available to help you. No matter what age you are at MCC, you can imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals at Morgan Community College. 1st and 10 for Brush. The football at the Kent Denver 48-yard line. Injured players off the field. I'm not sure who that was for Kent Denver. Nonetheless, the Bee Diggers with a 1st and 10 at the 28 in the back split. Handoff. Morrow running off right tackle, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Well, luckily for him, he did not fumble the football. Layman Cobb was in on the play. No gain. 2nd down and 10 to go for Brush.
Well, that was just going to be a dive over here to the right side, that 24 dive, and they're just doing a good job of plugging that up there in between the guard and the tackle, and Morrow had to start heading it to the, more towards the sideline, and once he got out there, it allowed the defensive end and the linebacker to close in on him.
This is a huge drive for the Bee Diggers. If they can tie this game midway through the 3rd quarter, it's anybody's ball game. 2nd down and 10 to go for the Kent Denver 48-yard line. Rosenbrock and Bostrom now in the backfield. Pitch left to Bostrom. Has speed to the outside of the 25 along the sideline with a stiff arm, and he's out of bounds as he tiptoes his way towards the 21 as Hamlet knocks him out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 7, 3rd down and 3 to go for Brush.
So Diggers are picking on him over there now that they're starting defensive ends out of the game. He's sitting over there on the bench right now, and it gives him a chance to run against maybe a second-string guy, and that's what happens. You get out there and start picking on somebody that's not supposed to be out on the field right now.
This is huge right now. 3rd and 3 from the Kent Denver 21-yard line. And the rain has begun to fall again. From the 21. And here is the give to, is that Rosenbrock? And he's going to spin inside the 20. He's got a first down. They hit Morrow, thinking that Morrow had the ball, but it was Rosenbrock, the deep back, and he spins his way to the 17, a gain of 4 and a Beet Digger first down.
Yeah, we run that 20 series over there, and remember what happens. Rosenbrock's the fullback, and he's actually running off tackle. Morrow's actually running the dive straight ahead. The quarterback, Tremolin, comes out and fakes it to our halfback first. Morrow running straight ahead, and Kent Denver sent their linebackers. They came up there and hit Morrow, and luckily Tremolin was able to get the ball to Rosenbrock behind him.
From the 17 of Kent Denver on first down, here comes a blitz. The handoff on the right side. Bostrup leaps over a defender, and he's to the 15-yard line, and the Beet Diggers were lucky that he was able to pick up 2 yards because that could have been a disaster. Instead, it's 2nd and 8.
They're blitzing like crazy. They blitzed, 3 plays in a row, and, we all know what's going to happen here pretty quick. If the Diggers can just guess right, they're starting to send people. It's going to open up that passing game exactly, or else it's going to open up something there on the outside.
Morrow replaces Bostrom. 2nd down and 8 to go from the 15-yard line of Kent Denver. Kent Denver leads Brush 14-7 here in the third quarter. The Beet Diggers have never had the lead in this game. 2 touchdowns by Jaden Franklin of the Sun Devils. 1 by Brett Bostrom of Brush. On 2nd down and 8 for the 15. Looks like the blitz was coming. And there's the give to Rosenbrock right up the gut, and he runs hard inside the 10. Lowers his shoulder. He got to about the 8-yard line. His knees were barely off the ground. That's how low he was running. And for Rosenbrock, he gains 7 yards in the play. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
You're right. His whole body was probably about a yard off the ground. But right then, we caught him blitzing up the middle. We ran that trap at him still, and Rosenbrock was able to just run right past those blitzing linebackers.
3rd down and 1. That ball's just shy of the 8-yard line. Nico Guzman is the receiver to the left. On 3rd and 1 from the 8. He's in motion now to the right. That's Baker, the handoff. Rosenbrock right side. He bulls his way for a first down to about the 6. It's a gain of 2. And Brandon Jones made the hit, but the Beet Diggers are being extremely physical to keep that drive going.
Yeah, they're just slamming it. The officials are looking over there now, just judging if it's a first down or not. They're going to go ahead and measure it just in case.
Wow, that looks like it's a first down. The ball looks closer to the 6 than the 7. The original line of scrimmage was the 17 in terms of this set of downs. So I'd be stunned if that's not a first down unless we have an 11-yard chain.
You know what? I think Coach Quinlan, I trust him and his crew. They do a good job of marking this field. Yeah, I think it's, something, you're not used to that. I'm sure these officials have played on other fields where, the hash marks aren't the same on one side or the other. But, here at Beet Digger Stadium, it's the same.
1st and goal from the 6. 5:25 to go, third quarter in this 2A state quarterfinal. Kent Denver leads Brush 14-7. Kyle Rosenbrock has scored a touchdown in every game this season, but not yet. Will he do it right now? 1st down and goal from the 6. Tormolin hands it off to Rosenbrock, running right inside the 5. He bulls his way towards the 4 as he was stood up and taken back, but I think they're only going to give him the 5. Brandon Jones was right there, the linebacker, a gain of 1. 2nd down and goal from the 5. The Beet Diggers are eating up lots of clock here, nearly 5 minutes on this drive that started at the Kent Denver 48. That's a lot of time for a little bit of yardage.
You betcha, and we'll take it. We got to keep that offense off the field, but at the same time, we got to keep our momentum and keep firing off the line of scrimmage like we were earlier in the game. Our offensive line's really got to dig in here.
2nd and goal from the 5. The backs are split. Tormolin on the bootleg left, looking for a block, swings it to the outside. He breaks out of a tackle towards the pylon. Touchdown! He broke an ankle tackle and scored. And the Beet Diggers are to within a point. Kent Denver 14, Brush 13.
You know what? I didn't think anything was going to happen. On our bootlegs, very seldom do you ever see Tremolin, or any of our quarterbacks for that matter, ever have to stop and juke anything. He had to stop and juke a little bit because their defensive end got across the line of scrimmage from so far away, and then a kid dove in there, grabbed for his ankle. I didn't think he was going to be able to break it, but he did. He jerked his right leg out of there, and there was nobody coming.
A huge extra point coming up for Jesus Cardenas to tie the game for the 2nd time. Off the hold of Mitch Tormolin. Got to make sure you block everybody here, waiting the snap. There it is. The kick is up, and that one is good. However, a flag thrown before the extra point, and it's offsides against Kent Denver. Well, if it's offsides against Kent Denver, well, not encroachment, though. I guess they – well, let's see. Is Randy Dreitz going to go for the 2-point conversion or just attempt the extra point? Yeah, the play did not count. So the extra point did not count. And normally in past years, the Bee Diggers might think about going for 2, but Coach Dreitz is going to play the percentages here and attempt the extra point. Again, off the hold of Tormolin. Awaiting the snap. There it is. Heavy rush. The kick is up, and that one is good. 4:25 to go, third quarter in the 2A state quarterfinals. Brush 14, Ken Denver 14 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 11 plays, 48 yards in 5 minutes and 18 seconds. The Bee Diggers tie the game at 14 on Mitch Tormolin's 5-yard bootleg, and he's all fired up along the sideline. And, Dave, that wasn't set up by the offense but by the defense.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you what, when they're blitzing like that and when they're trying to get too much penetration, bad things are going to happen to them.
Yeah, but the Brush defense also did their job to begin the half. There's a high, short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 20 by Franklin. He's at the 30-yard line, stutter stepping towards the middle, and now he's got daylight towards the outside with Jesus to beat at the 40-yard line. Along the right sideline to the 30, Jaden Franklin to the 10, to the 5. He is gone. 80 yards for Jaden Franklin on the kickoff return, and Ken Denver's back in the lead, 20-14.
Yep. He's the one guy we didn't want to get the ball, and he actually ran up and caught it. We just got to do a better job tackling. Our guys, this whole season, teams have run over here on this side of the field against our kickoff team. They've had a lot of success, and that's exactly what happened right there. They just came at us the same way.
Well, it's happened before, like you mentioned. I mean, Fort Morgan did it to Brush, and I know another time this year that's just escaping my memory right now is Jack Rader will attempt the extra point. That would be Sterling. Mm-hmm. Off the hold of Matarazzo. That kick is up, and that one is good. Right down the middle. 4:09 to go, third quarter. Ken Denver's back on top. Ken Denver 21, Brush 14 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, the Bee Diggers had just tied the game at 14, but Jaden Franklin returns the ensuing kickoff 80 yards for a touchdown, his third touchdown of the game. And all of a sudden, the Bee Diggers are down by 7 again. They've yet to lead in the game as Jack Rader will kick it off with 4:09 to go in the third in this 2A state quarterfinal with a winner to take on the winner of the Florence Middle Park game. This is a high kick. It'll be fielded by Rosenbrock at the 13 along the left sideline to the 20. Tries to break out of a seam. He's down across the 30 to the 31-yard line. The tackle was made by Gunnar Sveen. The 6', 180-pound sophomore, and the Bee Diggers have to do it all over again. 69 yards away, and an extra point from re-tying the game.
But this is good because we can control the ball. We keep their offense off the field, and we can drive it down there and control our own destiny here. Next time we kick it off, we'll do a better job of not kicking it to that kid.
1st and 10 for Brush at their own 31-yard line. Yeah, Ken Denver's run only 3 offensive plays in the quarter, and yet they've scored as many points as Brush has. Baker is in motion to the right. And there's the pitch right to Bostrom, looking for a block and cannot get it. He's taken down by Trevin Hamlet for a loss at the 29-yard line. If he is blocked, Bostrom's got major room to run.
Yeah, we've had quite a few plays like that where we're just, our receivers just aren't able to do a good job of containing those kids. Franklin's quick, though. You got to give him credit. You can see he's got some power, but we still got to do a better job of getting after him. Hamlet.
2nd down and 11 to go from the 29-yard line. Yeah, and you can't have a 3-and-out here, Dave, because then Ken Denver has got all the momentum because Brush had to work so hard to get into the end zone, and for Ken Denver, they had the big play.
Exactly. We just got to come out and run right at them like we did that last drive.
From the 29-yard line, the Bee Diggers on their own side of the field with Baker in motion to the left. And there's the handoff to Rosenbrock, running right back to the middle to the 35, spins out of that tackle, and he's going to be hit hard at the 38-yard line. Boy, he took a lot of contact, including one from Matt Pettijohn. But it's a solid gain of 9 yards for Kyle Rosenbrock. And all of a sudden, a Second down and 12 is a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, so it's just that 46 where our halfback has to kick out the defensive end, and he sure did do a good job of it. And Ken Denver makes that play work pretty well because their defensive ends like to come across the line of scrimmage so far.
3rd down and 3 from the 38. The Beatdiggers were down by 12 points with less than 9 minutes to go last week on the road, and Manitou had the ball, and they won in double overtime. They're looking for a rally this afternoon on 3rd down. Handoff on the counter to Bostrom, running back towards the middle. He has nothing. He is thrown down at the line of scrimmage. Way too much penetration. And now let's see what head coach Randy Drice decides to do, because, in fact, that was a loss of 1 back to the 37. 4th and 4 to go for Brush.
So we tried to run our 30 series. It had been like a 36, and Kent came out with a little different look. They had their defensive end, but they actually had what looked to be like 3 linebackers over here in that area. So they just had more defensive players over here than what we had to block.
It looks like Brush is going to go for it at their own 37. This could be a game changer if the Beatdiggers don't pick it up. 4th and 4 from their own 37. Now they will retreat in punt formation. Coach Dright's playing the percentages here. Awaiting the snap is Rosenbrock. He's got it. He boots that football end over end. It's going to bounce at the 28-yard line, take a huge Beatdigger roll inside the 20 to the 19. So that's a punt of 43 yards for Kyle Rosenbrock, and now Ken Denver's going to have to earn it on offense with a 21-14 lead with 1:32 to go, 3rd quarter.
You betcha. We just got to keep our eye on O. Franklin. We know he's the guy. Got to do a good job of getting some penetration, like we were saying, from our defensive ends over there, not allowing him to get outside wide and trying to slow him down and give our defense, our pursuit, a little better chance at catching him before he gets his speed up.
You don't have to close on your house alone. Northern Colorado Title at 130 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan will provide you with a stress-free closing in leather jackets, T-shirts, and more. Bijou T-Quest, 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan. 1st and 10 for the 19, Baxton and I. And there is the end around to Pettijohn along the right side. He's got very little, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That was a wide handoff on the end around running right to Pettijohn. Knocked out of bounds. Jake Brown rode him along the sideline. And he either lost a yard or got back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a yard. 2nd down and 11 to go for Ken Denver.
Yeah, they tried to fake to their backs, and it didn't fool Rosenbrock. He was the first one over there that flew up there to make the tackle. He missed it. We'd had him tackle a little bit further back, but luckily the rest of the Diggers showed up over there to help out.
2nd down and 11 to go from the 18-yard line. This could be Jaden Franklin time. He'll get the handoff, running towards the left, tries to get around a defender. He's thrown for a loss by Rosenbrock at about the 17-yard line. A loss of 1, and that's the thing. If you can keep Franklin in that backfield, he's not big, but he's very shifty. You could create lots of trouble for him. 3rd down and 12 to go, under a minute to go, 3rd quarter.
But where'd Rosenbrock hit him? He wasn't up there diving around his shoulder pads. He shot in there and got after his legs. And you take a guy's legs out from underneath of him, how's he going to go anywhere?
Digger Dan trying to get the crowd going, and they are rooting on these Beatdiggers. 3rd and 12 from the 17. In a shotgun is Joey Matarazzo, awaiting the snap. Has the football, 2-step drop, rolling to his right, pressure coming, Stratton chasing him, throwing along the sideline to pass. It's going to be, is it intercepted?
You betcha.
And it is. It's intercepted along the right sideline, picked off by Rosenbrock. I didn't see a Ken Denver defender in the area. Rosenbrock picks it off at the 25 and goes out of bounds. The 3rd interception of the game for the Beatdiggers.
The Kent Denver receiver was actually down here closer to the 35, and Matarazzo tried to throw a bullet over there, but Rosenbrock was just so quick from his linebacking position. He's in charge of the flats over there. He just read the quarterback's eyes and stepped in front of it.
Beatdiggers have the football at the 25-yard line of Ken Denver as they are looking for the tying touchdown and extra point, trailing 21-14. Now you got to hold on to the football as well of your Brush. On 1st down and 10 for the 25. Handoff, Rosenbrock taking it wide to the right, trying to get around defenders, breaks out of a tackle. Now he's looking to reverse his field and slips and goes down at the 30. And that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter as the clock is under 20 seconds. I don't think the Beatdiggers are going to get back up to the line of scrimmage. I think they want that rest here going into the 4th quarter. With the score, Ken Denver 21, Brush 14. You are listening to the 2012 Colorado High School Football Playoffs on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran and Dave Urich back from Beet Digger Stadium in Brush in his 2A state quarterfinal, where the Beet Diggers have a 2nd down and 15 to go at the Ken Denver 30-yard line, trailing 21-14 after Kyle Rosenbrock intercepted a pass thrown by Joey Matarazzo. And now the question is, what do the Beet Diggers do? Do they still keep the ball on the ground? The passing game has been limited. Of course, the weather certainly hasn't helped, but Ken Denver can defend the pass pretty well. We know the Beet Diggers can, Dave.
Well, we know you can bet they're going to be sending some people. They're expecting to pass. I guarantee you they're going to be blitzing some people here, so the Diggers just got to make a decision. If they're expecting a blitz, if they think they can throw that screen, they can get after it. Other than that, they're going to have to get it outside wide and try to run away from those people.
2nd down and 15 to go from the 30. It looked like Ken Denver jumped, and they did. The right tackle for Ken Denver looked like Jake Michelson. Came across the line of scrimmage. So now it's 2nd and 10 for the 25. Good hard count by Tormolen. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come here in this fourth quarter. Get Ken Denver off balance.
Yeah, and slow him down a little bit.
This was Brush's best quarter last week. Has to be their best quarter today if they want to advance to the semifinals for the 4th consecutive season. 2nd and 10 for the 25. Handoff left side. Bostrom cutting it back to the 20, and he's inside the 20. He spins towards the 18-yard line before the tackle was made by Chance Tanner, but it's a gain of 7 for Brett Bostrom. 3rd down and 3 to go for Brush.
23 yards now for Brett on that carry. That's his 9th carry. You know, Brush coming out trying to run that 37 and still running on that 30 series, trying to make that work. And like I said, that's going to set up that bootleg stuff. It's going to allow Tremolin to throw the ball when he needs to.
3rd down and 3 to go from the 18-yard line of Ken Denver. Rosenbrock and Bostrom remain in the backfield. Brown is the receiver to the left. On 3rd down, handoff. Bostrom left side to the 15-yard line. He's got a 1st down, slips out of a tackle to the 10. Bostrom with that little jitterbug used an extra step to gain another 8 yards. 1st and goal for the Beet Diggers as the nose of the football is inside the 10.
Again, 30 series. Bostrom showed a lot of strength there as the kid came in and tried to wrap up around his waist. You could see he just let his arm go and just jerked it back and broke free of that tackle.
1st and goal for Brush at the 10-yard line. In the opening minute of the 4th quarter, trailing by 7. Here's the bootleg left for Tormolen. Along the sideline to the 5. He runs into a defender. And does he score, or is he out of bounds? And he is, but he's out of bounds at about the 2. It'll be 2nd down and goal, a gain of 8 for Mitch Tormolen.
Yeah, that was Charlie Lippett, their corner that came up there and knocked him there at the last minute. I'll tell you what, they had some good fakes. And again, making that 30 series work and Kent Denver having to honor that trap. And then they're have to honor that off tackle. Tremolin put the ball on his hip. Nobody knew where the ball was except for Lippett.
2nd down and goal for the 2. Tormolen with a back split. We'll hand it off to Rosenbrock, running left towards the end zone. He drives into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Beet Diggers are to within 1. It is Ken Denver 21, Brush 20. And here comes the all-important extra point.
Rosenbrock up to 93 yards now on 21 carries, but I'm telling you, the Diggers are just making that 30 series work, and what I'm excited about is the fact that it's going to open up that passing game. As long as we can keep running that 30, it's going to allow, or it's going to force those linebackers of Kent Denver to honor our off tackle and honor that trap, and when Tremolin rolls out wide here towards the end of the game, you can bet it's going to come handy because he's going to roll out wide. They're going to expect a run, and he's going to pull it up and throw the ball.
Again, a huge extra point. There's the snap, and the ball is nearly dropped. The kick is up, and that is good. Tormolen had trouble getting the ball down as he dropped that football a little bit, but still had enough of a grip to put it down. 10:56 to go in the game. Brush 21, Ken Denver 21 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 5 plays, 25 yards on that drive. Even though the Beet Diggers had to go backwards initially after a 5-yard loss by Rosenbrock, they did it in a minute 37. Rosenbrock scores for the 24th time on the ground this year. Extra point was good. It's tied at 21. Now, what do they do with a kickoff? They're going to be squibbing it into the ground. The ball is loose towards midfield, and it looked like it was pounced upon by a Ken Denver player. That might have been the same one, Alex Lippett, who recovered the onside kick in the opening half, and it was. So Ken Denver has the ball at their own 36-yard line. Dave, there was no other way to go there. You had to do that play.
Yeah, you want to kick it downfield with that squib as far as you can, but at the same time you don't want to get on it too much. And the way Ken Denver lines up, they're guys that are in the back, they're all out really wide. So it leaves the middle of the field wide open. It tempts you to kick it there, but if you kick that grounder too hard, that's going to allow Franklin to run up there and pick it up. So I really think that was the best play.
1st and 10 for Ken Denver at their own 36-yard line with 10:54 to go in the game. Deadlocked at 21. Man in motion to the left. There's the handoff right up the gut to Jones. Breaks out of a tackle, and he bulls his way across the 40 to the 42 as the fullback picks up 6 yards as Jake Morrow was around the football, as was Oscar Soto. 2nd down and 4 to go for the Sun Devils.
We got to tackle that kid around the ankles. He's too strong. We're going to have to stay low and try to stop him at the line of scrimmage and not grant him 3 yards every time by jumping on their back.
Keeping community banking simple and committed to their community. Morgan Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. 2nd down and 4 at the 42-yard line. Receiver split to the left and right. The deep back, of course, is the sophomore Jaden Franklin, who has 3 touchdowns in the game. Matarazzo hands off to Franklin, running off left tackle. 1st down across the 45 to the 50. Gains 8 yards in the play. The hit was made by Kyle Rosenbrock.
135 yards for Franklin, 14 carries. He was at 134 a while back, but remember he had a couple of losses, tackles for -10 earlier.
The Bee Diggers, I don't think, have had the ball in this game with the game tied. They need that possession with the game tied where they have a chance to win the game like they did last week. 1st and 10 from midfield. The Bee Digger defense has come up huge in the second half. And there is the pitch right to Franklin, looking for a seam to the 45-yard line, back towards the middle, tries to break out of a tackle. 1st down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 11. Jake Morrow makes the tackle, but Jaden Franklin continues to pile up the yards for Ken Denver.
Sure does, 146 now. But again, we're not hitting them low. We're just making too much contact up above, and that allows him to have those opportunities to try to break things and pick up those extra yards. So his last 2 carries, 1 of 8 and 1 of 11.
Look to the team at Valley View for rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. 815 Fremont, 867-8261 Valley View Villa. 1st and 10 from the 39. The handoff to Franklin, running off left tackle. He bulls his way inside the 35 towards the 33. Big yardage on every play now for the Sun Devils. That's a gain of 6, and Morrow and Eddie Arribas to make the play for Brush.
Yep, our defensive line's going to have to get a real good surge, and I don't know if Kent Denver's fooling us with the count up there or what, but we're having a hard time coming out of our stance and picking up those yards, and it forces us to stand up and get shoved backwards.
Every time Kent Denver needs points, they've done it so far in this game. They need them again in order to reclaim the lead. 2nd and 4 from the 33. The handoff to Jones. Nope, that's a quarterback keeper. The option left to Franklin along the sideline. 1st down, and he runs into a Bee Digger out of bounds. Great fake. And that football all the way to about the 22-yard line, 21. It's a gain of 12 for Jaden Franklin.
164 now for Franklin, but that was just a nice option play, like you said. They ran that over to the left side. Everybody thought that Jones was going to get the ball, that fullback, off of that, and they pulled it out at the last minute and made the pitch.
Bee Diggers need a turnover. They cannot stop this team right now. 1st and 10 from the Bee Digger 21-yard line. Hand off to Franklin on the counter at the 20-yard line along the right sideline to the 15 to 10 towards the pylon. He's in. That's a touchdown for Jaden Franklin, 21 yards out. His 4th touchdown of the game, and the clock continues to run for some. The clock ran an extra 3 or 4 seconds there, but it's a touchdown 21 yards away, and Ken Denver leads 27-21.
173 yards now for Franklin. But I watched on that play, they did a good job. They came down and sealed off on our linebackers. Our linebackers couldn't come out there to make the tackle, and our safety had a hard time coming up to try to fill fast enough because of Franklin's speed. And boy, we're just having a hard time, getting rid of our blocks. They're a good blocking team.
Jack Rader to attempt the extra point. Off the hold of Matarazzo. There's the snap. It's a high one. The kick is up, and that one is good. 8:38 to go in the game in this 2A state quarterfinal. Ken Denver leads Brush 28-21 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Ken Denver responds again after the Beet Diggers had scored. Ken Denver takes a 28-21 lead, a 6-play, 64-yard drive in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Jaden Franklin scores from 21 yards out. He's been terrorizing the Beet Diggers. His 4th touchdown of the game, 3 on the ground and 1 on an 80-yard kickoff return. And now to kick it off will be Jack Rader. We've got 8:38 to go in the game. This ball is booted high and fairly short. Fielded by Rosenbrock at the 12, running to the 20. Stutter stepping to the 25, to the outside to the 30. Has a seam to the 35. Rosenbrock along the right sideline to the 40. And he's going to be tackled at the 47-yard line. A return of 35 yards for Kyle Rosenbrock.
Boy, that was just a nice job there. He picked up some nice blocks there. Guys got initial blocks, and that's what opened up some of those lanes. And once he broke through that initial surge, he cut it to the sideline over there in front of the Kent Denver bench, ran right around one of their players, Anders Soderberg. He's 6 foot, 177 pounds, and he just didn't have the speed to try to, push Rosenbrock out of bounds. So Kyle just ran right past him.
1st and 10 for the Beet Diggers at their own 47-yard line. Stubbs Gas and Oil, I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there to see why convenience is Stubbs' middle name. From the 47, the handoff to Brett Bostrom. He's got nothing. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Swallowed up over there by Brian Boatman, the 6'3", 205-pound senior defensive end. 2nd down and 10 to go for Brush.
Yeah, we're just having a hard time getting some of those blocks and sticking with them right now. It's kind of the exact opposite where Kent's blocking us and being able to maintain them. On that particular play, we had a hard time holding our block, and the kid got rid of us right away and was able to get in the backfield and make the tackle.
And they actually give him about half a yard, so we'll call it 2nd and a long 9, just shy of the 48-yard line. But this drive is a must-score again for the Beet Diggers. The offense has responded every time they've needed them to from their own 48. And Randy Dreitz calls a timeout. Every timeout is big now because you're down in the game. That's the first timeout called by the Beet Diggers in the second half. Timeout brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call at 842-4555. Beet Diggers face a 2nd down and 9 at their own 48-yard line. Hard to imagine, Dave, that the Beet Diggers could win this game when they've never led in the game. But last week they didn't take the lead until the very first overtime. That's what it took to take the lead, and they might be in the same position today if they can score, kick the extra point, and stop Ken Denver, and then force another overtime.
Exactly. That's where you play those games earlier in the season or earlier in the playoffs, and you have a chance to have that gritty situation where you see what it takes to dig down that deep and then see that you have what it takes, and you have that experience. That's something Kent Denver hasn't really had. They had that with Strasburg last week, but not the same kind of game that we played.
2nd down and 9. The ball just shy of the 48-yard line. The senior Mitch Tormolen and the Beet Diggers up to the line of scrimmage. Play action, rolling to his right, setting up a screen to the left, and it's going to be caught by Bostrom. Slips out of a tackle, room to the 50, along the sideline to the 40. Bostrom down to the 30, tries to break out of a tackle, knocked out of bounds is Brett Bostrom at about the 23-yard line. A very well-run play. It's a gain of 30 yards and a Beet Digger 1st down.
Yeah, what a nice screen. I think the two guys that were the most dangerous screen people, they both ran up there from Ken Denver. Both of them ran up there and had arm tackles. One of them on each side of Bostrom. He split the seam and just ran it right down the field.
Let's see, they backtrack. Nope, it's going to be at the 23. Wow, that's a huge play, Dave. Give them 29 officially after respotting the football. With 7:28 to go in the game. Ken Denver 28, Brush 21, but the Beet Diggers once again are knocking on the door. They've got 2 touchdowns here in the second half, looking for their 3rd. Rosenbrock and Bostrom in the backfield from the 23. Play action, looking to throw, and Tormolen along the sideline through the hands of Randy Baker on that pass at the 18-yard line off that pump fake. 2nd down and 10 to go.
Yeah, that was one that probably should have been caught. Baker had to catch it falling backwards, but it went right through his hands. I know he wished he could have that one over.
Now, let's face it, this is 4-down territory for Brush, although there is plenty of time left in the game, but I think Coach Trites would feel a lot more comfortable not even addressing the possibility of a field goal.
I like the fact he had the confidence to come out and throw on first down and stretch this defense out a little bit.
2nd down and 10 from the Ken Denver 23-yard line. Tormolin turns, bootleg left, along the left sideline to the 20, tries to spin out of a tackle, and he's spun out of bounds at the 17, maybe the 16. Looked like they got him at the 17, and that will be the official spot. A gain of 6, 3rd down and 4 to go for the Beet Diggers.
Again, just one block away. If we're able to hold that one block just a millisecond longer, Tremolin's got the first down there.
And that ball's just shy of the 16.
Tremolin's run for 31 yards now on 6 carries.
We'll call it 3rd and a long 3. Beet Diggers have got to get to the 13. That ball's just past the 16. In the backfield are Rosenbrock and Jake Morrow. 2 plays to get 3+ yards. On 3rd down, Tormolin hands off to Rosenbrock, running left, inside the 15 to the 10-yard line, breaks a tackle to the 5, and he's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown for Kyle Rosenbrock from 16 yards out. Brush to within 1. Ken Denver 28, Brush 27.
So that puts Rosenbrock over the century mark on his 22nd carry with 109 yards. And you know the play was a little bit broken there. He just kept his shoulders facing upfield. We're running north. He just lowered his shoulder and ran into a kid. The kid fell down. He just kept driving his feet, broke the tackle, and then took it into the end zone.
Again, the all-important extra point. I mean, these extra points are pressure cookers.
I wish he'd quit saying that. It makes me nervous. I'm getting more nervous every time.
Well, you know, when you're down by a point, it might as well be 5 or 6 points because you got to tie this game right now off the hold of Tormolin. There's the snap. It's low. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. Might have been Jaden Franklin or no. It was on the block. It was Brian Boatman. 7:09 to go in the game. Ken Denver 28, Brush 27 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 5 plays for the Beet Diggers. 53 yards in a minute 22. Kyle Rosenbrock scores from 16 yards out, but the extra point was blocked. 28-27, Ken Denver with 7:09 to go in the game. Beet Diggers do have 2 timeouts remaining, but now the defense has got to show up, and this is going to be squibbed. Boy, right to Boatman. That's not a very good squib. He just picks it up and is down at the 46-yard line, and he might have gotten to the 47, but that was not one of the better squibs there by Jesus. Great field position for Ken Denver.
Yeah, the bad thing was Jaden Franklin and Trevin Hamlet, they're deep guys. They were actually clear up almost to the 20-yard line. So, you know, we might have been in a position there, if, you know, to kick it over their heads and maybe have the ball roll into the end zone.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. The Beet Diggers will still be able to get the football back at the very worst, down by 8 if Ken Denver scores and kicks an extra point, but you'd rather have the football, obviously down by 1 with a chance to win the game in regulation. 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Ken Denver leads by a point. Handoff to Brandon Jones, nearly fumbled the football. He tries to spin his way to the 49-yard line, and he does. Tyler Stratman and Jake Morrow make the hit, but it's a gain of 3 for the fullback, Brandon Jones, 2nd down and 7.
29 yards for him now on 8 carries.
Winner of this game will take on either Florence or Middle Park. I think that was a 6-0 Florence lead in the 3rd quarter in Granby. 2nd down and 7 from their own 49-yard line. The Beet Diggers need a stop desperately. Under center is Joey Matarazzo. And Matarazzo is going to hand it off to Franklin. Stutter stepping his way to the 50, backs his way across the 50 towards the 47. Maverick Seawald makes the hit, but it's a gain of 4. 3rd down and 3 to go for Ken Denver.
177 now for Franklin. Just running over that left side. Boy, is that ever frustrating when you're on this side of the field in this big old crown and they're running the ball over there where you can't see what they're doing.
Under 6 minutes to go in the game. Ken Denver 28, Brush 27. The Sun Devils with a 3rd down and 3 at the Beet Digger 47-yard line. 3 men in the backfield. Matarazzo on 3rd down. Will turn. He'll hand it off to Jones running left. He's got a 1st down inside the 45. as the fullback is down at about the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. Doesn't matter. He does have the first down. We'll give him a gain of 5 yards for Brandon Jones.
Yep, we only had one defensive lineman that was upfield. That was Soto. Our other guys were getting pushed backwards over there. And boy, that creates a lot of traffic, makes it hard for the linebackers to come up and fill. And one of the things the defensive linemen have to do when they're getting pushed back is to drop and make a pile.
Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night. When they do, every second counts. As a Level 3 trauma center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any kind of emergency, bringing quality care to our community. Colorado Plains Medical Center. Ken Denver calls a timeout. We'll take it with him. 5:14 to go in the game. Ken Denver 28, Brush 27. You're listening to the 2012 Colorado High School Football Playoffs on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from B. Digger Stadium. Ken Denver with a football, leading Brush 28-27 with 5:14 to go. A 1st and 10 at the B. Digger 42-yard line. B. Diggers have 2 timeouts remaining. That timeout was just called by Ken Denver. The backs at an eye. Jones and Franklin. Matarazzo under center. Play action. He's going to run to his right, looking for a block. Inside the 40-yard line, spinning across the 35. The ball is fumbled, and I think the Beat Diggers have got it at the 30-yard line. It should be Brush football as the ball was dislodged and recovered by the Beat Diggers. And Jake Morrow. Matarazzo took a shot at the 35 after picking up 7 yards, and the Beat Diggers have got it 1st and 10 at their own 30.
Just a huge play there. As we flew up there to make the tackle, it was a naked bootleg. There was a lot of great fakes there, but we flew up, and Rosenbrock actually came up to make the tackle, and he missed it. It was an arm tackle. He just missed it. Matarazzo surged ahead, took a huge hit, and dropped the ball.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 30-yard line. 5:04 to go. You keep the football, and this is it for Brush. On 1st down, there's the handoff. Breaking a tackle as Bostrom spinning across the 30. He's down after a short gain to the 32-yard line. And the initial hit for Ken Denver was made by Ryan Weiss. It'll be 2nd down and 8 to go for Brush.
The nice thing is, all we need is 1 point to tie the game. We got a great field goal kicker. If we can just pick up the yards that are necessary here and keep that Ken Denver offense off the field.
2nd down and 8 to go for the Beat Diggers at their own 32-yard line. 4.5 to go in the game. Ken Denver 28, Brush 27. Tormolen will hand it off to Rosenbrock, running right, trying to get around the outside. He breaks out of a tackle and spins, but he maybe has a yard to the 33. It'll be 3rd down and 7 to go for Brush. Layman Cobb made the hit.
Yeah, he tried to break it outside a little bit wider. I think it might have been an off-tackle play, but we're faced here with 3rd and long, and got to remember, we don't have to pick it all up right here on this play, but we got to get there close enough to at least make a threat.
Under 4 minutes to go in the game. 3rd down and 7 for Brush. Oh, there's lots of confusion. They're going to need a timeout here. They're taking a lot of time getting that play in, and now they're running up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 7 from their own 33-yard line. 4 seconds on the play clock. Tormolen running to his left. He might take off with a football. He throws in the run. The pass is incomplete. He overshot Jake Brown, who was wide open at the 40-yard line. 4th down and 7 to go at their own 33. And there was lots of chaos before that play took place, and they still had a shot to get the 1st down.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It's hard to get guys on and off the field and make sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and the guys got to be alert and organized out there. That was one of those plays that I think Tremolin, maybe if he would have kept it, might have been able to make just like one shifty move and pick up the 1st down.
It'll be 4th and 7. The Beat Diggers are going to go for it here at their own 33-yard line, because even if they don't make the 1st down, Ken Denver, even if they would score, the Beat Diggers would get the ball back in a 1-possession game. Trips to the left. 4th and 7 from their own 33. Tormolen is going to roll to his left, looking to throw. He is going to throw along the sideline. The ball is incomplete. Underthrown to Jake Brown at the 39-yard line off that pass. Ken Denver takes over at the Beat Digger 33 with 3:29 to go in the game, leading Brush 28-27.
Yep, just a bad pass. 2 of them there, 1st downs. That one just went in the dirt. It just came up way short. But, and it's hard to throw when you're rolling to your left and you're a right-handed quarterback, that's for sure. But Ken Denver brought a little bit more pressure that time. They had a guy right there in his face.
Well, the Bead Diggers have come up with 4 turnovers defensively. Brush just turned it over only once, and they're still down by a point. Well, they're going to have to come up with another big defensive play because the Bead Diggers are running out of time. 1st and 10 for the Sun Devils at the Bead Digger 33-yard line. More than likely, Jaden Franklin will be getting the football either here or on the next play. He's rarely gone 2 plays in a row without the football. And we've got a flag. That'll be delay of game against Ken Denver. Well, that's certainly a mistake there that the Bead Diggers hope to take advantage of. Now the football's at the 38-yard line. Ken Denver does have 2 timeouts remaining, according to our tally. Joe Carwin is in. Brett Bostrom is out. 1st and 15 for the 38.
I think the Diggers trying to shore up that defensive line a little bit, maybe try to cut down on some of that running room there.
Can they come up with a 5th turnover and get better field position? 1st down and 15 from the Bead Digger 38. Matarazzo hands off to Franklin, jitterbugging his way to the 35. He's into the secondary, inside the 30 to the 27. It's a gain of 11 for Jaden Franklin. It's now 2nd down and 4.
We had 5 defensive linemen up there, but everybody was getting pushed backwards. Everybody. And they were on their roller skates, and Franklin just ran right behind them.
2nd down and 4 for Ken Denver at the Bead Digger 22. And we are now under 3 minutes to go in the state quarterfinal. Matarazzo taking his time, letting the time tick off the clock on 2nd down and 4. 3 seconds on the play clock. He will hand it off to Franklin, running right, and he cannot slip out of a tackle as Tyler Stratman got him at the line of scrimmage. He might have lost a yard as he was shifting to his right. No gain, though. 3rd and 4 to go for Ken Denver.
Stratman shot in there like it was a double leg, and Franklin kind of bounced backwards, but because he tripped him up, he couldn't get his feet back underneath of himself to regain his balance.
Well, that time is coming off very quickly. 2:19 to go. And it's 3rd and 4 from the 22. If they get a 1st down here, the Bead Diggers are going to have to start using timeouts. 3rd and 4 for the Bead Digger 22. Matarazzo awaiting the snap. Long count, under 2 minutes to go now. Still hasn't snapped it. Waiting for 5 seconds on the play clock. On 3rd down, boy, I can't believe that all this time is coming off. And what's happening here? Nobody.
Oh, no. Now the official, the white cap.
The official did not signal. I mean, all this time is coming off the clock.
Yep, that's an official error. They allowed him to run the clock down.
Well, they're going to have to reset the clock.
Yep.
Yeah, they cannot let the clock continue to roll like that.
He's going to talk to you. Reset the clock.
Yeah, because the official never indicated when there were 5 seconds left on the play clock.
Sweet.
Well, instead of 1:44, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And now they'll start the play clock.
Yeah, I think our official down there got caught asleep, but he forgot to start waving his hands.
Yeah. Oh, he did fall asleep. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 4 at the 22-yard line. Well, that's the thing, Dave. I mean, if they get the 1st down here, you got to use timeouts, and then you need a miracle to perhaps even get the ball into field goal range because Ken Denver can control it for that much more time. Either that or you allow them to score.
Exactly. Maybe you let them score as fast as you can just to give you enough time on the clock to get down the field.
Well, 3rd down and a long 4 for the Bead Digger 22-yard line. Jones and Franklin in the backfield. Again, waiting for that play clock to get to 5. And now it's at 5. At 3. At 2. There's the snap. Looking to throw. Lobs it over the middle. Wide open. Caught by Boatman. That's a touchdown. That's a perfect pass. 22 yards away. And Ken Denver now leads 34-27 with 1:59 to go in the game.
Yeah, they just threw that dump. You know, the Diggers were all up there ready to stop the run, and they just ran a guy. They didn't even really do any play action. They just ran a guy straight down the field, and our guys couldn't get back there quick enough to pick it up.
That drive took about a minute and a half. And now the extra point for an 8-point lead. The good news, the Bead Diggers will have the football back. They'll need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to force overtime unless Raider happens to miss this extra point.
Yep, we're still in it. We got to keep playing.
Off the hold of Matarazzo. Awaiting the snap. There it is, and that kick is up, and that kick is good. 1:59 to go in the game. The score, Kent Denver 35, Brush 27 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brian Boatman with a 22-yard touchdown catch on 3rd and 4. From Joey Matarazzo, the extra point is good. A 3-play drive that covered 33 yards. And Kent Denver now leads 35-27. The Beat Diggers have 1:59 to go and 2 timeouts. And if they relinquish the football, their season will be over. They need a touchdown and 2-point conversion. Line drive headed for the sideline, out of bounds. Ball went out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Well, the Beat Diggers will have outstanding field position.
Well, Kent's happy with that, though. They don't want to kick it to Rosenbrock just as much as we don't want to kick it to theirs. Their idea of defending that is just to get it over there next to that sideline, and maybe they recover it. Maybe we pick it up in bad position, but most importantly, Rosenbrock doesn't get it. Even if it goes out of bounds, it's on the 35.
And let's see, is this going to be a re-kick? Beat Diggers are lining up like it's going to be a re-kick for Kent Denver, and it will be. So now they'll have to kick it off from the 35. And Rosenbrock is the deep man, but he's only standing at the 14-yard line. So Jack Rader to kick it off again, 5 yards towards his own goal line. Well, no, he can't kick it off for the 40. Yeah, he was going to put the tee at the 40. That's not right. Got to kick it off at the 35-yard line. And we'll do it again. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to angle towards the sideline, like you said, Dave, but you face the danger of kicking the ball out of bounds. And Rader will run up to the football, and he will hit this right into the ground. It'll be fielded by Baker at the 37-yard line, runs to his right, and he's still on his feet. He spins across the 40 to the 45-yard line. So good field position for the Beat Diggers with 1:57 to go in the game.
Hey, this is doable, and we have the offense to make this happen. We saw that passing game work last week, and we've seen it work today. Sun's even starting to come out just a little bit. You know, the field's getting brighter.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 45. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion would force overtime, unless there's significant time left on the clock. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tormolin is back to throw. Looking. Here comes pressure, and the ball is fumbled. He's hit, and it's recovered by Kent Denver at the 36-yard line. A blindside hit, and they've got the ball. And the Beat Diggers can stop the clock twice now, but the Sun Devils with an 8-point lead with 1:53 to go are in control of the game.
Yep, that one hurt. They were going to try to throw a little flare pass out here to Rosenbrock, but the defense for Kent Denver knew it. They had a spy on Rosenbrock. They have a guy that's just following him around. That guy just ran up there and stood next to Rosenbrock. It made it to where Tremolin couldn't throw the ball. He had to go to another receiver, but that's not what the play's practiced to do. And so it left him thinking there, holding on to the football. And unfortunately, like you said, he took that hit, from behind. He didn't see it coming.
Well, the Beat Diggers still have a shot only because they've got 2 timeouts. Without any timeouts, they wouldn't have a shot, but they've 2 timeouts remaining. 1st and 10 for Kent Denver at the Brush 36-yard line with 1:53 to go. Matarazzo hands it off to Franklin, running left, leaping over a defender. He's inside the 36 to the 34, maybe the 33. Beat Diggers take a timeout, brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. It's a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 to go for Kent Denver.
Yeah, that takes him to 185 yards today. Man, has he ever done a good job, and definitely one of the quicker backs we've seen all season. He's at the same level as the Eaton kid.
Yeah, Austin Eckler, 2 different types of backs, but both equally explosive. Committed to serving those in production ag, Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. Your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard is Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush, and they now carry appliances. That's Ackley Building Center. So now it is 2nd down and 7 to go, and the sun is out for the first time in the game, but that's, no pun intended, shining nicely for the Sun Devils as they've got the 35-27 lead with 1:47 to go. And a 2nd down and 7 at the Brush 33-yard line. Yeah, Tormolen took a massive hit. There was no way he was going to hold on to the ball there, Dave, when he took that sack.
No, and you don't see it coming, especially when he had the ball up there cocked, ready to throw it out here to Rosenbrock. Then he had to tuck it away. He didn't have a hold of it with two hands even.
2nd down and 7. Matarazzo. Long count. He's going to pitch it right to Franklin. He'll stutter step. He's inside the 30. They're trying to strip him. He's got a 1st down inside the 25 to the 22. And that will be it for the Bee Diggers. A gain of 11 for Jaden Franklin. And Ken Denver is going to advance to the semifinals. The first time since 2008 that the Bee Diggers have not qualified for the semifinals. They were in the semis each of the last 3 years. And Brush still has one timeout remaining, but Ken Denver really doesn't even have to run the plays. They can just take a knee.
Yeah, I don't see him taking a chance. And they got their backfield. They have those two good running backs, and the quarterback's pretty tough. I can't see them taking a chance here.
From the 22-yard line, Matarazzo right up to the line of scrimmage. And he will give it right up the middle to Franklin. He's hit at the 20-yard line. He's corralling that football. Gaining 2, thrown back by Morrow. And Stratman got him right there as well. Under a minute to go, and the Beat Diggers take their final timeout. But again, if you're Ken Denver, you should just take a knee at this point, Dave. No reason to run a play because it's only 2nd down.
Yeah, you don't want to get your guys hurt. And looks like they'll be playing Florence next week.
A valiant effort put together by the Bee Diggers, and that game would be in Denver for the Sun Devils. The number 1 seed here in these 2012 playoffs, about to move to 11-0. The Bee Diggers just could not stop Ken Denver every time they tied the game today, Dave.
Nope, we just, we didn't have that answer. We weren't able to get our 2 plays back to back, and they did. They did. They did it early.
Yep, this timeout brought to you by State Farm Insurance. 2nd down and 8 to go for Ken Denver at the 20-yard line of Brush. Let's see if they actually run a play with 57.3 to go. It looks like they're setting up to run a play. And falling down is Matarazzo. He backed up, and Jones, the fullback, had fallen down, so it's a loss of 3. But as long as he holds on to the football, really doesn't matter.
That's exactly why you probably wouldn't want to run it right here. A guy got hurt right there on a fluke situation.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. And now they're going to take the knee here, the victory formation. 3rd down and 10 at the Beat Digger 22-yard line. Matarazzo takes the snap, and he takes a knee. And that's it. The Ken Denver Sun Devils have advanced to the state semifinals, defeating the Bee Diggers in Brush this afternoon, 35-27. Let's take a break here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urick back at Bee Digger Stadium. Welcome to the Bee Digger post-game show, brought to you by Buildings by Design. Buildings by Design and Brush takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter, 842-5837. Building today's business. Buildings by Design as Ken Denver defeats Brush 35-27 in this 2A state quarterfinal from Beat Digger Stadium. Let's run through the scoring as Ken Denver took the lead on a 73-yard run by Jaden Franklin, a 2-play 76-yard drive in 48 seconds. PAT was good. It was 7-0. Beat Diggers would come back in the second quarter, a 12-play 80-yard drive in 5.5 minutes. Brett Bostrom scores from a yard out, deadlocking the game at 7. Every time the Bee Diggers would score, Ken Denver would come right back, and Jaden Franklin did that, completing a 7-play 51-yard drive in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Franklin from 8 yards out makes it 14-7. And then the Bee Diggers in the third quarter, after stopping Ken Denver 3 and out, would score on an 11-play, 48-yard drive in 5:18. Mitch Tormolen on a 5-yard bootleg ties the game at 14, but then Jaden Franklin returned the ensuing kickoff 80 yards for a touchdown. It was 21-14. Brush did come back with 10:56 to go in the game. Kyle Rosenbrock scores from a yard out after he intercepted a pass at the Ken Denver 25-yard line. That drive took 1:37. Game was deadlocked at 21. However, moments later, 2 minutes and 16 seconds later, Jaden Franklin scores for the fourth time in the game. 6 plays, 64 yards. Again, in 2:16, a 21-yard run. It was 28-21. Brush came back, a 5-play, 53-yard drive in 1:22. Rosenbrock from 16 yards out. Extra point was blocked, making it 28-27. Beetdiggers did recover a fumble as Jake Morrow jumped on the ball at the 30-yard line. So the Beetdiggers had the ball with over 5 minutes to go, trailing by 1 at their own 30, but they went 4 and out. 2-yard run by Bostrom, 1-yard run by Rosenbrock, and 2 incomplete passes. Ken Denver got the ball and scored in just over a minute and a half, a 22-yard pass on 3rd and 4 from Joey Matarazzo to Brian Boatman. PAT was good. It was 35-27. The Beetdiggers then returned the ensuing kickoff to the 45-yard line, but Mitch Tormolen was hit extremely hard, and he fumbled the ball on the play. Ken Denver recovered at the Brush 36, and the Sun Devils picked up the necessary yardage to run out the clock and win the game. The Beetdiggers season over at 8-3. Ken Denver at 11-0 as they advance to the state semifinals. Dave, let's talk about the player of the game for Ken Denver, certainly Jaden Franklin.
I'll tell you what, he ended up running the ball 23 times for 196 yards, and that's a lot of yards. We've had backs that get those kind of yards, but the difference was, he also had that kick return. He also came up with some huge tackles out there when we tried to run the ball on the outside, so he was definitely all over the field. 23 carries, 196 yards. Their fullback ran the ball 9 times for 34 yards. Outside of that, they didn't really have any offense. Their quarterback threw the ball 6 times. He completed 2 of those, but he had, like you said, he had the 3 interceptions. His 2 receivers were Boatman and Pettyjohn. Boatman had 22 yards, and Pettyjohn had 12, but they only had 45 offensive plays with a total of 268 yards offense.
All right, let's look at the Beetdiggers side of the ledger. Kyle Rosenbrock certainly ran very hard, and at times the ground game was pretty good. In fact, it got better throughout the course of the game after Ken Denver had the Beetdiggers 3 and outs on their first 2 drives of the game.
You bet. In his first 5 carries, Rosenbrock was only able to come up with a total of 8 yards, and then after that he busted off a 12-yarder, a 17-yarder, and then things started opening up a little bit more for him. He ended up with 110 yards in a quarterfinal game, which is very impressive, on 23 carries as well. Mikey Gutierrez had 1 carry for 23 yards. Jake Morrow had 5 carries for 11 yards. Brett Bostrom had 12 carries for 34 yards. Tremolin threw the ball 15 times. He completed 6 of those for 81 yards with 7 rushes for 25 yards. Our top receiver today was Randy Baker for 20 yards. He caught 2 of them. Jake Brown caught 2 for 15 yards. Jake Brown had 1 for 15 yards. Kyle Rosenbrock had 2 for 17 yards, and then Bostrom had 1 carry for 29 yards. So we had ended up with 63 offensive plays, and more offense with 284 yards, but we just didn't get that big special teams play.
Yeah, and the Sun Devils were able to come away with this 35-27 victory at Beetdigger Stadium as they snap a 3-game losing streak to the Beetdiggers and now advance to the state semifinals. As momentarily we'll bring in the head coach of the Beetdiggers, Randy Dreitz, as Brush finishes off the season with an 8-3 record. Obviously, just a tough afternoon. Randy, what are your initial thoughts in this game? Which any time that your team scored, Ken Denver just kept coming back and taking the lead, and I know psychologically that was tough to come back from each and every time, which your team did for the most part. Unfortunately, Ken Denver was just too strong at the end.
Yeah, our kids fought to the end. I was real proud of that. I feel horrible for our seniors. It's always tough end of the year like this when you end up with a loss and the seniors have to go out like this. But, I'm just going to praise our seniors. What a great job they've done for us this year. Being good leaders, being there, getting people rallied around us, and working hard. Whether it be, I talked about it earlier this year, what a great job they did getting in the weight room this summer, getting people to the weight room, and it started there. And we had tough times this year when we lost, and it was pretty ugly after the Platte Valley game. And these guys came together and said, we're going to work harder and we're going to get better, and I think they did. But, hats off to Kent Denver. That's a very good football team. They got tons of talent on that team, and, they're going to be tough again next year, but they're a very good football team, and I I just want to say I'm so proud of our kids, how hard they fought and how they battled. And we got a young team. Hopefully these guys stick together and we can come back again next year and do well.
Coach, what about the battle in the trenches here? Because obviously that's where games are won and lost, and your team did play a lot better defensively in the second half, but how tough was it, one, that you had to battle in the trenches knowing that you had to stop a guy like Jaden Franklin who just needed an inch, and once he got in the open field, this guy was almost impossible to tackle because he's so fast.
Yes, he's very fast, and he's a good runner, and he's not real big, but I'm telling you, when you hit him, you better wrap up because he'll run through arm tackles. He's really a great running back, and our kids, I thought they played hard, and we came out on the short end, and that's a drag, and it hurts a bunch. But I told our kids, if you learned anything from this year, hopefully you learn to rebound and get up when you get knocked down, and that's so hard in life to do, and it's a life lesson, and it's so hard to do, and if anything, I hope these kids learn that this year, and they're going to rebound from this. I know they will. They're going to be a bunch of good kids, and I wish them the best of luck, those seniors, and I hope the rest of the guys, I see them all out there next year working hard, and we'll be getting after it again next year.
Well, Coach, you were 2-2 after 4 games, coming off the worst loss of your career, against Platte Valley. Things were in the dumps. You win 5 in a row to close out the season. You have the victory last week. I mean, do you emphasize to them, hey, let's remember how we got here and what we did last week? Because after all, it took an incredible effort last week just to get to this week.
Oh, most definitely. Last week we were fortunate to come away with the victory, and it just didn't happen for us this week. But our kids battled hard. They give us all they have, and what else can you ask for from a coach standpoint? I hats off to our kids. I mean, they're a tremendous group of guys, and I've thoroughly enjoyed coaching this group this year. It's been a pleasure, and I know my coaching staff feels the same way. It's frustrating when you lose because you're so close, and sure like to get there, and we'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, you came up with 4 turnovers today defensively. I know you would have wanted to play a little bit better at times defensively, but how about the effort you gave out there, knowing that in this game, with as talented as that offense is, you needed some of those turnovers initially just to stay in the game, and then at other times just to get your offense going and get into the end zone. And certainly, I mean, you took advantage of some of those opportunities defensively.
Yeah, we did. Our kids, with those interceptions, that was huge. They played great pass defense. We held them into check at times, and then they were able to bust loose and get a first down a few times. And defensively, when you're facing number 1 team in the state, an undefeated team, they're undefeated and number 1 because of some reason. I mean, They beat Platte Valley, they beat Florence, and they beat the top teams in the state now. And so it's going to be a battle, and we gave it all we had, and Kent Denver's a good football team, and it's going to take a good football team to beat them, but because it's tough to stop their offense when they have the speed and the size that they do in their backfield. It's tough, but our kids gave it their all, and I'd like to have a few things back. I'm sure our kids would too. Special teams, we didn't mean to kick it to them sometimes, and we ended up kicking to them, and hopefully we get recover one of those fumbles that they fumbled on the kickoff, but hopefully we don't let them run a kickoff back. But that's over with now, and we're just going to build on it, and reflect on this year, and see what happens next year, and hopefully I'll be back next year to give her another shot.
Randy, thanks as always for the time. Congratulations on it. Really was another successful season. I know not all the way to the state championship game, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Beat Digger head football coach Randy Dreitz as the Beat Diggers go down to defeat today to Kent Denver in the 2A state quarterfinals, 35-27. We'll take a 1-minute break, and Dave and I will come back with our Beat Digger player of the game right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beat Digger Stadium, where the Beat Diggers have been eliminated in the 2A playoffs, losing in the quarterfinals to Kent Denver 35-27. We remind you that we'll have video of this game coming up on YouTube on our KSIR B106 channel, which you can check out the entire season season of this year, last year, 2010, 2009, all the videos up there from all those games, and a play-by-play recap of this game as well on KSIRsports.com. Dave Thomas for our Beat Digger Player of the Game, brought to you by T.O. Charlie's at 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. They will not be beat by anyone when it comes to price. They'll help you find a car that fits your needs and budget. If you don't see what you want, T.O. Charlie's will find it for you. Log on to TOCharliesFTM.com to view inventory, current specials, and apply for a loan online. Drive away with confidence at T.O. Charlie's. Some valiant efforts from several Beat Diggers, but we go back to week 1, week 2, week 3, same Beat Digger Player of the Game, and I think it's got to apply here for game number 11 of the 2012 season, Dave.
Right. I think, we got to go with Kyle Rosenbrock again. He had the 23 carries, we had the 63 offensive plays, but, he was in there running that football 23 times for 110 yards, which was almost half our offensive output. He was also the receiver of 17 yards in passing. He was going to catch another pass there at the end if Tremolin wouldn't have gotten hit there and ended up with that fumble. And then the things that you don't notice quite as much. For instance, the fumble there that gave us a chance to get back in it of Kent Denver. Kyle was the one that came across the line of scrimmage really hard and disrupted the play. He had the interception over there. He's just all over the place. And, even on the kick return, he's the guy. We put him back there deep. All of a sudden, Kent Denver doesn't want to kick it deep anymore. They want to kick it shallow. We get the ball on the 35 or have situations like that and with squib kicks because, he's such a threat. So there's a lot of things, not just yards, that make him the player of the game.
I know there's only one winner at the end, Dave, but you look at this season for the Beat Diggers, as Coach Streitz mentioned, a very young team, only 10 seniors. You do lose your starting quarterback. I mean, he graduates, obviously, in Mitch Tormolin, but lots of talent coming back next year as the Beat Diggers hope to build upon this season for an even better 2013.
Right, and like you were saying, we've been in the semifinals 3 years in a row. There's teams that haven't been in the semifinals. And so, ever. So, we're spoiled here, and we have to be conscious of how hard it is to win. And, when year in, year out, you look back to 3 years ago in the championships, Olathe had the Pyatt kid. Last year, Bayfield had the Velasquez kid. Well, today, they had a superstar over there that we had a hard time stopping. And when you get to the, that Final Four, that final 8 teams, there's something that made those teams just amazing. And you have to have an answer to that. And we didn't have an answer today for the running of Kent Denver.
Dave, always fun to be with you. Every football season, Dave's been with me now for the last 10 years, and Dave's been our color analyst here for 12 years for Brush Beat Digger Football. You don't find many better in the business than Dave Urich, so appreciate your efforts throughout the course of the season. Our replay engineer for the 2012 season has been Trenton Klimper, and thanks as well to owner General Manager Alec Creighton here at Northeast Colorado Broadcasting for getting us going in the right direction as well. Sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger Football has been Rose Condas. For Dave Urich, I'm John Beltran. The final score in this 2A state quarterfinal from Beat Digger Stadium: Kent Denver 35, Brush 27. Beat Digger replay to follow right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.